Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to begin our playthrough of Phantom Epoch. For those of you that don't know what this game is, it's a 1 to 4 player dungeon crawler set in the sci-fi type genre. I'm super pumped to dig into this game. We're going to play with 2 characters because this game can be played 1 to 4 players, but if you do play with play it solo, you have to play with at least 2 characters. We're going to start by setting the game up, getting our characters ready, and then we're going to dive into the game and begin our playthrough of Phantom Epoch. And if you're excited to do that, then I need you to meet me at the table. Before I read the intro to the game, I do want you to know that this game is completely voiced by Foreteller, which is the company standard for narrations when it comes to board games. Please go check them out. They not only do this game, but they do so many other games. So check out Foreteller for all your gaming narration needs. Let us begin. Cold, smothering darkness, and infinite nothing. This is the future. A synthesized voice sounds at once inside your head and all around you. Though the language is unknown to you, you understand the words. Unless we stop it, searing hot light explodes everywhere, vanquishing the cold darkness. So bright it blinds the eyes, just as much as the absence of light had. You try to close your eyelids to shield against it, but nothing you can do can shut it out. This is the future, the voice says again, flat and emotionless. Unless we stop it, the light fades. Your eyes adjust, and all around you are stars, brilliant and beautiful against the backdrop of space. Light and dark, balanced perfectly, the way all things should be. This is the future, if we make it happen. Now, after that short introduction, we are going to go to creating our characters. There are 4 main classes that you can start with. You can either be an archer, a fighter, a rogue, or a healer. The 2 classes we have chose. One is going to be the rogue. On top of that, you have to choose a species. There are 3 different species. There are Slink, there are the Volarian, and there are also the Grolok. Oh, I guess it's 4, sorry, and the humans, of course. These species, I let my Patreon members decide what we were going to be, and the first one that they chose is going to be the Valerian. What the species does is it does give you your starting hit point value and your starting action point value. And it also is going to give you an ability you can use at some point during the game. This allows me to convert, when converting an action card to a move, may use 2 of the movement points as a separate leap 2. So that is something that particular species is able to do. We may see that in action during the playthrough. Also, you're going to gain 1 of these. It's going to be marked with an X. That shows that is a starting card, and it is going to be an attachment that is going to go for this particular character. We're going to put it down here. You can get up to 2 attachments down here. Some things to note about attachments, they do have an ability to them. This one allows me, when making a critical, I can deal additional 3 damage after the attack action is complete. This right here would normally show a number, which is where you could put in cells that are going to be able to power those up and be used to make these particular attachments activate. This one is a free thing that can happen. The next thing you're going to do with your character is you're going to get your 10 base starting cards. You're going to have all these available to you at the beginning of the game, and as you play through the game, you're going to pick certain ones that are going to be able to help you during the particular round. You're going to play them out, and then you're going to discard them down here, unless, of course, they could potentially be temporary or even permanent things that are going to be laid out on the board. So you're going to put your 10 cards right there, get them ready. These 4 over here, there are 4 of them. These you do not start with. You have to buy them. You have to buy them with points as you go through the game. Now, of course, each one of these has a different skill point, purchase point, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you don't have to buy them in order. I could just skip right to 3 if I decide to save my skill points and decide to buy number 3. That's totally fine. Whatever you want to do to kind of create your character. But more often than not, unless the scenario says differently, you're always going in with 10 cards. So if you do buy these 4, eventually you'll have to remove 4 from there to make a total of 10 to bring in. Each character is also going to have a set of player cards that you can use during the game to help reference particular rules or things in the game. Now, if you notice down here, there are some symbols. These symbols correlate with what particular in attachments a character can use. It's not this symbol right here. It's going to be, these symbols are going to be found on some of these that are going to show you that only those type of characters can use those attachments. Other than that, the things that we don't have at the beginning is items, or sorry, items are going to go here. These are going to be equipment that you can equip to the head, body, and feet. And then down here we have bandages. If you ever are healing yourself, you're going to have to place down bandages. If you ever have no place to put a bandage, you can no longer be healed for that particular mission. This character is complete. Except for one thing up here. If I ever do roll a critical, I can gain invisibility. It's a status effect that I can gain for my character. Now, if you do roll a critical during your particular attack or whatever it is that makes you roll the die, you do have to choose, because both of these do a critical. This one does those 3 damage, and this one makes you invisible. You have to choose which one you do when you roll that critical. That's the end of our rogue, except we do have to name our character. Every character is going to start with a sheet here. We'll have the name, the class, species, the Nova cells. This is going to be not only currency, but it's also going to be what is going to power up some of these attachments as well. We have available skill points here, the campaign's name that we're playing, the owned equipment, purchased action cards, owned items, owned attachments, and then down here, the missions that we have completed. We're hopefully going to get through the tutorial mission, and we're hopefully going to do the first mission on one of these planets. So that is going to be what we have to do. Of course, I'm going to have your help in naming our bird. And no, please do not name him Big Bird. We do not need Big Bird. Please think of a fantastic name for our Valerian rogue here. And now, of course, that I said that, you're all going to tell me Big Bird, aren't you? Probably. Our other player character we're going to play with is going to be the fighter. This fighter is going to be Grolok. Fantastic. I hope I said that right. It does have an attachment, the Radiant Spark, allowing my critical to stun people. Also, it has an ability that if I stun people, I can gain a barrier and vengeful, which are certain statuses we'll talk about as we play through the game. We have our 10 cards here. We also have the ones that we can buy over here, ready to go. And I think that's about it for this character. Well, except for, of course, like I said, you have to give this person a name. Give them a name. That'd be awesome. I would love to see what kind of names you have for our Grolok character. In case you're wondering what they look like, this is a picture of what they look like. They are that. And then, of course, I didn't show you this one, but it kind of looks more like a bird-type creature, which is why I'm hoping you don't call him Big Bird. And we even have miniatures for our characters. This is the one for our rogue. We have it right here. Now, the rogue does start with 14 hit points. So we're going to grab a dial. We'll grab the blue one. We're going to put it to 4, and we're just going to attach it right to our base just like that. And then since it has 14, these are going to count as 10s. So it now has 14 health. It's just going to start with that. We'll place it over there. Our Grolok here is actually going to start with 17 health. So we're going to put this on 7. We'll put it right there. Boom. And then we're going to put it on the white base that gives us our total of 17. So he is all set to go as well. Phantom Epoch is primarily a campaign game going through our mission books. They do have, it can be played standalone as well, and there are rules for that in the rule book. We are going to be playing the campaign starting off at the beginning. So we're also going to grab our campaign tracker, which means we do need a campaign name. Might just need to meet me at the table. We're going to put our characters in here. Then we're going to put our available vanished technologies. Of course, we start with none, but we're going to maybe gain some fame from these different planets as we go forward. And as you can see, there's a little bit of separation here. This is going to be where we're going to be able to purchase things. The more fame you have, the better the equipment you're going to be able to purchase from that particular faction, or planet, I should say. Here is going to be our mission completion, then that we are going to be able to go through. This is going to show us that it is available. This is going to show us that it's completed. And if we're able to complete everything in the mission, we'll check it off. If we don't complete everything, we can put an X through it. So for example, say we missed one of the treasure chests or something, we could put an X in it so then we can remember to maybe go back and check out what that is. Now, I apologize for the wobbly camera, but this is just to show you how much of the board a game takes up. So this is a 3-foot by 5-foot gaming table. So the mission books themselves are really only going to fold out to about that much space. Usually the rules and stuff will be found up here and the map down here, but that's not always going to be the case. Our 2 characters are over here. All the cards and everything, tokens we're going to need are over here. The only thing I don't have on the table is going to be all the standees that we're going to need for our enemies. enemies. Those standees are actually in a box off to the side. So just wanted to give you a frame of reference as to how much room this game takes up. For a dungeon crawler, it's really not that much, as you can tell. There is a small blurb here about welcome to Phantom Epoch. The fate of the galaxy is in your hands. This is just talking about how you're going to use this book, and also kind of to expect the beginning of this book to have a lot of rules and things to go to if you have any questions. And it is actually set up pretty well. The tutorial mission, I think if I remember right, shows different page numbers that you can go to learn about the different parts of this game. Now we are going to do the first mission, and that's the tutorial mission. So we're going to flip both mission A and B books now. Even though I stated that most of the time the board covers these two parts, for this particular tutorial mission, it is only going to cover this one page. And the rest is going to be story and also some of the rules going along with it. This particular mission is the tutorial mission called Awakening. It does have a 1-star difficulty. We do have an introduction. You awake with a start, cold sweat dripping down your face as you take in your surroundings. The dream felt so real, but you find yourself on the cold, hard floor of an unfamiliar, unfinished room with no recollection of how you got there. 3 of the walls are a dark gray metal without any blemish on them. Where the 4th wall should be instead is an opening into space, just as it was in the dream, except now a red planet with swirling gas clouds fills the view. You reach out and feel a solid barrier. It's time to begin. The same voice from the dream, now behind you. You whirl around, but there's no one there. 2 portions of the wall melt away. The first revealing a large door. The second a weapon resting in an alcove. You tentatively reach for the weapon and recognize it from the histories of your people. You hold in your hands one of the legendary weapons of the vanished. Break free, the voice commands. The door looks sturdy, but it's not the first door you've had to break down. You ready yourself, repeating the voice's words in your mind. It's time to begin. Our first objective is to break free. Yep, no, I'm not singing Queen. Here we go. The first mission begins now. Follow instructions in the rulebook to set up the mission, but skip the event deck step for this mission. You also won't need to set up any adversaries to start this mission. And it does talk about how to set up missions on rulebook page 9. I have read that already. Note that not all components will have their rulebook page number referenced in this tutorial. Players may choose to read the component details section of the rulebook in its entirety before continuing to, or look up each unfamiliar component as it is encountered. And they have them here, component details and rulebook page. Now, of course, I have read a lot of this, so I'll just explain a lot of this as we go forward through not only the tutorial mission, but also through the other mission, first mission that we're going to be undertaking. We're now going to start our mission. All italic text in a mission page is story text. All regular text in these boxes indicates rules or mechanics and explanation. The book icon signifies rulebook references. Each section should be read in its entirety as it is encountered. So here it states, the door is locked. You will have to break it down. In this particular mission, one of the rules is going to be that we're going to treat the doors as destructible objects that cannot be leapt over. And there, of course, references here if we need to look them up. Now, this tutorial is going to have a little bit of hand-holding and non-hand-holding going forward. So, for example, here it says in round 1, for this tutorial mission, the current mission event is active every round. In other missions, random event cards are drawn at the start of each round, and the only time the mission card is performed is when it's mentioned on an event card. And as you can see here, we do have 2 sets of event cards. We have a set of cards that are 1 through 5, and then we have a set of cards that are 6+. So when you normally do a mission, you're going to shuffle up 5 of these randomly, and then you're going to place them on top of the entire 6 deck, making your encounter deck. Now, the characters that we have are each going to select 2 or more action cards with attack actions on them. For now, ignore any other actions on them that you have not yet learned about. All characters reveal their selected action cards at the same time and tally up the action points on the selected action cards. For each character to determine the character's initiative, the character with the lowest initiative acts first. Now, this, of course, is basically stating that we're not going to have to worry about a lot of things that are going to become staples in the future. So I'm just going to play them as staples now so that you can kind of see how this all works. And as we read through the mission book and go through the not only this tutorial mission, but other missions as well, you're going to see this down here, stop reading until a specific condition has been met or something has come up that we have to deal with. Then you would move to other parts of the book. This here is going to be our mission event that we are going to be playing with until it tells us not to. It says that reroll any critical strikes or fumbles rolled this round. And this is going to happen for the first round of the game. So for this round, we are going to take our set of cards, which we do have access to every one of these cards, and we're going to find 2 attack cards. This one says attack +1, move to gain invisibility, so we can't use that one. Here's just attack card. Here's an attack -1, attack -1, so you have 2 attacks on that one. There's a leap one. There's another move card here. There's another attack card. This one is before performing attack, so that's not one. This is a ranged attack. This one's going to be attack inflict bleeding. So these are technically our attack cards. I guess this one is as well, but I'm not going to use that one. We're just going to, let's just choose this one, and we'll choose this one. Those are the 2 attack cards we are going to use for our thief or rogue here. The thing we're going to be noticing on these cards, I'm going to give them a quick explanation here, is we have the name of the card. This is the amount of action points it's cost to be able to play the card or for that turn. Then down here it tells you exactly kind of what it does, including any status effects. This one's going to inflict blinded. This one is now a little bit heftier in price. It's 5 action points to be able to put this into our hand to be able to play for the turn. This attack does double damage if the attack is performed while invisible. That's pretty good. I'm not invisible, so it doesn't matter. So I have a total of 8 on my AP that I am going to be using for the rogue, or sorry, yeah, the rogue. Now let's pick out 2 cards for our warrior. I have a feeling this is not going to be hard. I'm going to guess all these are attack cards. Attack 3. We have a move. We have a guard and attack. We have a guard and attack. We've got a guard. We've got a leap 4. We've got something that'll be a temporary that's going to last for the entire round. We have a move, and we've got an attack. So we'll just use that attack card, and we'll get to use another attack card. We'll use that attack card. Okay. Now let's use this one. Let's use this one. We'll use these 2 attack cards. Here we go. We got a total of 9. That's great. Okay. So now if we look, we have an AP value of 9 for our 2 cards, a 6 and a 3. So then we're going to compare that to our rogues. Our rogues is 5 and 3. So that is, the rogues is less. So the rogue will be going first this turn. At this point, we're going to place our characters out on the map. We're going to put our rogue here and our fighter here. If you see this spot here, that signifies that there is an orb there. So we do have an orb right here that we are going to have to maybe do something with at some point. Most of the different missions you go to are going to have orbs. Some of them are going to relate to story objectives. Some are going to relate to just the actual mission itself. So it depends on which one, what you're playing is what they will actually do for you. Now we'll go through the flow of the game, though a lot of this is not going to be covered in the tutorial mission. So for example, the first part says to roll a decision die. So I do have a decision die. It is this 8-sider right here. This 8-sider has different letters on it and different colors. And all of that is going to help us determine different things that could potentially break ties in the game. So for example, if we rolled it up, that'd be west and north. If we ever had to decide something, it would be the most west, and then it would be the most north, or if there is a difference in what we should activate based on a color, then it would be red would be the thing we'd be activating. So you're going to do that at the beginning of every round, or you're going to roll that die. Then we'd also draw and resolve an event card, but like this stated, there isn't one of those. We could rest or select action cards. We have already selected our action cards. We reveal selected cards. We've done that as well. I've done a lot of these things already. Draw adversary action cards. There are no adversaries to draw any cards for. Then we determine the initiative. The lowest one goes first. We already determined that that is the rogue. So now we're going to play our turn. Now we're going to have to try to break out of this door. There are 2 different ways to break a destructible object. Whenever you hit it, it's going to go through different stages. This first stage is it's damaged, and then it's going to be destroyed. So you can put a damage token on it first, and then you'd put a destroyed token on. A destroyed token is going to cost you extra movement to move through, but the damage token, it doesn't do anything for you because you can't actually do anything to it. Still, you have to destroy the thing. So in order to break these things down, we do have to play a card. So we're going to play our attack card. And once we play our attack card, we have to go through the order in how we're going to attack. So we have to declare our target, which is going to be the door. Then we choose the attack die and roll it. And what it means by choosing the attack die is there's 2 different dice. There's a blue die and there's a yellow die. I'm going to be rolling the blue die. Blue die is a normal attack. The yellow die is what's called a blitz die. A blitz die has more fumbles on it, which means that, which are bad. It means you miss and potentially you can't do much more on your turn. And the other one is going to be things that pierce, which is going to help remove guard statuses from particular enemies, meaning that your damage can actually go through. Once we roll the die, we're going to calculate the attack value. So roll this up, and we got a fumble. That's absolutely amazing. Now, not only does that mean I miss and I don't do any damage, it also means that I'm so off balance that I'm not going to be able to perform any further attacks during the current turn. Now, lucky for us, our mission event says that we can reroll any critical strikes or fumbles rolled this round. So we're going to re-roll that. I got a 2. So any damage done to a destructible object, unless stated otherwise, is going to be enough to damage it. So we did damage that door with our sneak attack. So we're going to play our second card now, because you do play everything for your character at that when it is their turn. And if you do decide to move at all, based on the cards, or of course you can always discard, or not discard, but convert any cards into their move, which is why this move symbol's here. So since this cost me 3 action points to put down, it actually could give me 3 movement points I could use to move through the board instead of doing the bottom part of this card. But instead, I'm going to fight dirty. I'm going to fight dirty against that door. Why not? We'll roll it up here, and I got a critical strike. That's going to be fantastic, but it did say reroll any criticals or fumbles rolled this round. So we're going to roll it again. I got a fumble. I get to reroll any of those this round too. That's, oh wow, look at these fumbles. This is out of control. Okay, just to let you know, there's only one of these on this die. They're all numbers normally. Okay, there we go. Finally some numbers. We're gonna break down that door. Our door is destroyed. I'm gonna put my destroyed token there, and that's the end of his turn. We're gonna put these 2 cards into the discard pile, which is found over here on the character board. You're able to get these cards back during a rest action that you can take at some point on your turn if you decide not to actually pick action cards. Now, looking at our attack flow, I would normally calculate guard values. There isn't anything for these doors, so I just apply damage, and any damage that affects a destructible object is going to affect it. There are no conditions to affect obstacles with, so that is the end of our player attack flow, and that's the end of his turn. Now, this did say stop reading until any one character has destroyed the door adjacent to them. And well, that has happened. So it says here, the door is reduced to a pile of rubble, freeing you from the confines of the small room. Beyond it is a larger room with the same metal walls, floor, and ceiling as the one you were locked in. To the sides, you see more doors. In the middle of the room, surrounded by glowing screens, wires, and consoles, a large glowing orb with a soft blue light. Place your hand on the orb and it will reveal your path, the voice commands. So here we have a new objective. We're going to activate the orb on H4. When placing things out on a map, you're going to notice that there are letters down the side and numbers up and down here. So 4 is here. So we're going to place it on H4, which would be exactly where I'd placed it earlier because I saw the picture of it. So that orb is going to be placed right there. At this point, we're going to make sure we place a destroyed token over each door when it is destroyed. Once every character has played their turn, this round is over and a new round will begin. So I still do have to do the fighter. Our warrior is going to go next. I might have been calling him a fighter. I apologize if I was calling him the wrong class, but fighter, warrior, very somewhat similar. He's going to play his first attack card on that door. So we're going to do that heavy swing. It's going to do an attack +3. So Norm would roll my dice. I get a 2 + 3 would be 5 points of damage. This is going to be a door that is now damaged. So now we're going to play our next card, our slash card. We're going to roll it up. We got a critical. We're going to roll that again. Another damage to it. So as you can see, we have been able to destroy both of our doors. Our characters have succeeded in that first objective and are now moving into the second objective where we're going to try to activate that orb. So I'm going to discard these cards into the discard pile for our warrior. We are going to move into round 2, so all characters who have already broken the door adjacent to them should use this round to rest and recover their discarded cards. So we're going to go through the rest action really quick. Now there are some stipulations to resting. First off, you cannot rest if you don't have any cards in your discard pile, and you can also not rest in back-to-back turns. When you do choose to rest, your initiative value is going to go to 1 for that turn. You also don't get to play any cards for that turn as well, but you do get to recover all of the cards in your discard pile. At this point, you also get to remove any detrimental conditions that you had at the start of the turn before they would activate. So this is a bleeding token, for example. I would not take the 2 damage from bleeding. If I'm resting, I'd be able to remove this token before that would take place. I could also use this time to equip or unequip any attachments or equipment. The items you can only ever bring 2 to a battle. Those you don't get to switch out during a rest, but you do get to recharge any of the attachments or anything in your equipment that take Nova cells. Now, I know I said you can't unequip item cards, but you could use them still even during your rest action. And then once you're done with your rest action, you would then be able to perform actions in your next turn. So our warrior is also going to rest, gaining back his 2 cards. That's really the only thing we're going to be doing during this rest. And we're going to move into round 3. So once rested, it's time to continue with the mission. Activate the orb. Unless the mission text says otherwise, to activate an object, a character must end their turn adjacent to it. Now that doesn't just mean orbs, that also means anything that would be out on the map according to a mission objective, or any of the treasure chests you may find, or like we're going to try to do, activate any type of orbs. Those are both done by the same way here. We're going to use the round to move adjacent to the orb and to activate it. Players may select action cards with move actions on them. Alternatively, any selected action card may be converted to a move action with the value equal to its action point during the character's turn. There's no limit to how many selected action cards can be converted into move actions during your turn. So like I stated earlier, we could choose to use this as an attack 3, or I could convert this to a 6 move if I want, because the AP value up in the corner is 6. A lot of this is going to be found in the rule book here, and it does just remind us that the destroyed token is considered difficult terrain and it takes 2 movement to enter. We've come to another orange box that says stop reading until any character has activated the orb by ending their turn adjacent to it. We'll move into the 3rd round, so we are going to, in theory, roll this die, though it's not being used during this tutorial. But I still will set it over there. I'm going to choose our cards for our characters. The first, our warrior is going to choose shield up and dash. Now dash allows me to do a move 2 for 1 stamina point, and this one I'm going to use as the 3 stamina points. That's going to give me a total of 4 for my initiative value. Now he's never going to beat the rogue. Rogue's going to use 2 to move 4. So this rogue is going to be able to play the move 4 card, meaning we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to end adjacent to our orb, and we are going to activate it. When you do, you're just going to flip it over to show that it's been activated. If there was something you're supposed to read, it could show a number here. Otherwise, it's going to be something that's referenced in the book itself. And it did tell us to stop reading until a character has activated the orb by ending their action adjacent to it, and I am done that. So let's check out what happens. The orb feels warm to the touch. As you rest your hand on it, a tingling sensation expands from your palm through the rest of your body. The feeling intensifies to the point of being unpleasant, but you find yourself unable to pull your hand away. Suddenly, your vision goes dark, and the tingling ceases, replaced by a distinct lack of sensation. They're coming, and there's naught we can do to stop them, says a male voice, different from the one before, though in the same language. The voice sounds ancient, wise, unlike the hollow, emotionless voice you heard previously. The voice feels alive. Perhaps, perhaps not, a female voice responds. What you propose is too dangerous. We'll create a failsafe. Even if we fail, those who come after us may yet succeed. A pause. Then the male voice answers again with a sigh. Let it be done. With a gasp, you are returned to the cold metal room, your hand still resting on the orb. It is no longer warm, and its inner light has dimmed. Beyond the orb, a shimmering blue apparition materializes. It is a lanky figure standing on 2 legs, its body covered in fur. A slink. They look you in the eye and knock an arrow to a wooden bow held in their clawed hands. New objective: defeat the slink archer on L4. So it does tell us to place a slink archer with a light blue HP tracking base as follows. The icon you're seeing here is ones we're going to see on future missions. This states the amount of players you're going to have in order to place that down. So this 2 to 4 means any amount of players is going to be there. If you would be, say, playing a 4-player game and this only said 2 to 3, you would not put something there. Or if you're playing 2 players and it said 3 to 4, or just said 4 or something like that, you would not place it as well. But since we're playing 2 players, that number does actually happen. So we're going to place it with its light blue HP tracking base on L4. Before we place the Slink Archer out on the board, we do have to look at the card that goes along with the Slink Archer. It shows here that the Slink Archer has 5 hit points. When it attacks, it's going to roll they're always going to roll the blue die, I should say, and whatever the number is, they're going to add 3 to it. So that could be quite a powerful punch if it gets a 4. That could be up to 7 damage. It'd be rough. It does have a range value of 5 when it attacks. Now its guard is -1. So if it does take damage, it's going to actually take more damage than it would if it actually had a 0 there, which is too bad for it. It does have a critical ability. It says at the end of the current turn, it's going to retreat 3 and try to heal itself 2. Now we're going to take that blue dial, that light blue dial that we have, and we're going to put it at 5 for our Slink Archer. So we have our Slink Archer ready to go. I did not give it a white token because it only has 5 health. And we're going to place it out on the board on L4. The other thing I have to do is, no, we've already deactivated the orb. We're good to go. We're going to learn a little bit about adversaries at this point. Usually when an adversary is placed, it will not take its first turn until the following round. However, mission text always takes precedence over rulebook instructions. In this case, the Slink Archer is immediately going to take a turn after being placed. Instead of drawing action cards, though, the Slink Archer adversary action deck for the 2 cards shown here. Then place that next to the Slink Archer adversary description card. So as I bumbled through that sentence, basically we're going to take these 2 cards it's showing here and place them down as if we drew them from the deck. Normally when you find an enemy, you're going to be placing out a species deck for all the different sets of species that have to do with this. So say we're playing against a Slink Archer and maybe a Slink Warrior, or a Slink Marksman, or a Slink anything, Rogue, let's say, or something. They would all still use this same Slink deck. So you normally would shuffle this up and we'd place this out onto the board here. And then we'd also take the class card for this particular class and place it out here as well. And then once that's done, when it came to their turn, we would draw our cards. But these are the 2 cards we have, and these are going to be played in this order. So you're supposed to kind of set them in the trays like this, so they're all set to go. There are multiple trays. There are 4 of these, so you can have a lot of different enemies out on the board at any one time. But for this, we are going to activate this person with the cards you see here. And like I just said, the Slink Archers should now perform their turn. Again, normally they would not if they're just placed onto the board, but this is a specific circumstance, starting by determining the primary target, which is likely to be the character who activated the orb. If there's more than one potential primary target, use the decision die that was rolled at the start of the round to determine the adversary's target. So like I said, we rolled that west die with the little N on it. And we have a card that is going to be able to help us with deciding who this adversary is going to attack. There actually is not a target or a card, but there is the back of the rule book. It'd be nice if there was a card. But so we're going to determine our adversary's target, which is going to be the closest enemy in range and in line of sight, which of course will be our rogue. So that's going to be pretty much the end there. But just in case, let's look through some of the other things here. The enemy that would take the fewest movement points to be within range and line of sight to attack. There are some tiebreakers, which have to do with moving through hazards or the decision die. And of course, we can't meet the first 2 criteria. There are even more criteria to help you figure out who the adversary is going to target. Now that we determine our target, we have to see if we have line of sight. To determine line of sight, you are going to choose 2 different points on the 6 hex that you see there. But when you draw your line of sight from any of the vertex of these spaces, it can't be to the same one. For example, I cannot draw a line from this one to this one because those are the same points on these particular hexes. So I can draw a line from here to here, and we have line of sight there because even though it's going through this destructible objects, we can still shoot through destructible objects. We're going to put our characters back on the board here and we're going to shoot at them. So we're going to put that guy there and this guy here. Now this person will be able to shoot at them. But before we shoot, let's take a look at our cards and see what our person's actually going to do. Might not even shoot. The first thing we do is our race card, or species card, I'm sorry. This one says tactical retreat. Now you could convert these into movement points again, just like we did, except if they have this symbol on it. It's always going to do that symbol unless, of course, there's something outside of the rule book that makes you change this rule. So this person is not going to turn these into movement points if it would have helped them try to get to us. It would rather have the guard 2 up. The next thing we're going to do, now we don't have to move because we are in range. Our range is 5. The next thing we're going to do is look at this card here. We have the light blue standee. So the light blue standee is going to activate fire arrows. If the primary target is an enemy in range and line of sight, roll the accuracy die. If a success or block is rolled, the target is inflicted with burning. Now notice this one does not make an attack. So there's no attack roll being made. We're just going to roll the accuracy die. Accuracy die? What the heck is an accuracy die? Oh, that's a great question. It is this die here. And once I show you this, that is the final die. There's only 4 dice in this game. There's the 2 different attack dice, the decision die, and then the accuracy die. When you make a ranged attack or anything else that makes you use the accuracy die, you're going to roll it. If you get this symbol, that is a success. That's a straight up success. This is a block, which means, for example, if I was shooting at this person and I rolled this, I would hit the first thing here. So I'd hit that destructible object, and then we would put, of course, that little broken token on it. And then eventually we might actually destroy it if we shoot it enough. We have our little token here. We just place that right down there. But we're not going to do that. Instead, I'm getting flaming arrowed. The other one we have is a miss, which is a straight up miss. Big ol' X. I want to see the big ol' X. Nope, I got that. So my guy is now burning. Now, if you look at the adversary's dial, you can actually stick the conditions in there with them so that you kind of know what they have. But for the players, they don't have that, and that's just fine because I've got a whole board I can put this on. And that's right, I'm just going to place my burning token here on my player board. And as you can see on our card here, burning says figures with burning take 3 damage at the start of the next non-rest turn. Then remove the condition. If the figure would be inflicted with frozen, remove the burning instead, which would be kind of nice because ice can take away fire. And if, believe it or not, the frozen condition can be taken away with fire. Now that that is done, there's only one thing left to do, and that's this. If an enemy is within the Slink's range at the start of the Slink's turn, retreat 2 at the end of the Slink's turn. So we should have read that during the actual species card, but it is nice to know that this is what should happen. Of course, like it says, it says at the end of the turn. So normally you'd complete this whole card and then go to your class card, but since it says end of turn, we're going to do it now. And I've got good news, bad news for Mr. Slink. There's no place to retreat to. You can't move into half squares, so he's just going to stay there because there's no place really to retreat from our characters. Now, everything we performed is pretty much gone over in this whole area here. I didn't want to read it verbatim. I'd rather have shown you. It does state, though, that now starting at the at the start of each round now, we'll be selecting action cards with the character and then draw new Slink action cards and new Archer action cards that will determine the Slink's actions during their turn and their initiative for each round. The Slink's initiative is the total action points of the species and class cards, and I'll show that a little bit more once we go to the next round. We now have to stop reading until the Slink Archer is defeated. It does say mission events now and mission results. Notice that the mission event changed from activating the orb. The new mission event replaces the old one for the remainder of the tutorial. Use the new mission event before the start of every round. Each time a character has hit points restored to them via the heal action, they receive a bandage token. Once the character's bandage slots in the character class board are full, heal actions can no longer be affected, which I stated a little bit earlier when I was explaining the characters. Here's our new mission event. Each character rolls the basic attack die and performs heal X, where X is equal to the value rolled. Fumbles are treated as 0s and critical strikes are treated as 3. Interestingly enough, we are actually not done. I still have to move with my warrior, and he can move a total of 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we're going to go right here and try to get that guy. I have to get through this orb or something. Actually, I've got a really good plan. I'm going to move 1, 2, and I've got a total of 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to move all the way down here. And now I know it's a little off the board and a little bit kind of over in a little crazy spot here, but I've got a plan. We are going to move into our next turn. The first thing we're going to have to do is roll the decision die. So roll that up. It is a north and west, with it being yellow. The next thing we're going to do is draw and resolve an event card. Now the event is the one for the mission, which states each character rolls the basic attack die and performs the heal X self, where X is equal to the value rolled. Fumbles are treated as zeros and criticals are treated as threes. Now all of our characters are at full health, but I believe we still roll the die. Since everybody's at full health, I'm not actually going to roll the die. And since we didn't heal, I'm not exactly sure if we're going to grab a bandage token, but I'm still going to put one for both of my characters. I don't think this is going to make much of an effect on this particular mission, but it does say that each character rolls a basic die and performs a heal X. It doesn't say may, so I'm going to guess it means we have to. Now, of course, I do have the burning condition, but that doesn't happen until the start of my turn, and it hasn't been his turn yet. So we're going to select our cards at this point, or we can choose to rest. I'm going to choose cards. We are going to choose 3 cards for our rogue here. The ones I am going to do are going to be parkour. Why not? That sounds awesome. Which is going to be a leap 4. We're also going to grab flurry, which is 2 attacks, but both at -1. And the final one we're going to grab is attack with a range of 4. Now, of course, I can use these to move if I wish to, but right now our value is 6, 7, 8. For our warrior, we are going to grab a couple cards. We're going to grab leap 4, must leap through open spaces in a straight line. Sorry, I should read it better. Must leap through spaces in a straight line, not open spaces, through spaces. Next one is going to be our slash, which is going to be an attack 1 card. He's going to have an initiative value of 6. So once these are revealed, we do know that our Gralak will be going first. Unless, of course, the Slink decides to ruin our plans. So we're going to draw a race card. We have Stealthy Slink. Move 3, the Slink gains invisible for the end of the turn. It's going to be a move 3 card. Then we also have a class card. And since the Slink is the low or light blue, it's going to be full draw attack with +2 range. Those are the 2 cards that we're going to do for our Slink. Our Slink does have an 8 for initiative. And in case people are interested, the invisible action is actually very good. The figure with the condition cannot be targeted by any action performed by any figure other than itself. Invisible figures may move through enemies and vice versa. I can remove invisible at the end of the figure's next full turn or upon performing an attack action. Now we have an 8 here, and I believe our Gallic has a 6, and our rogue does have an 8 as well. When it comes to ties, players do go first. I don't foresee this person being long for the world. I am going to first play my vault, which is going to allow me to leap 4, and must leap through spaces in a straight line. So I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to go in a straight line just like that. But sad news for this character, I am right next to him. So now I'm going to play my slash. See, I told you I had a plan, and I attack at +1. So we are going to use the blue die. We're going to roll this up. I got a 2, which with this is +1. So we have a total of 3 damage coming in. We are now going to check the guard value of the enemy, which is -1. So instead of doing 3, this character is going to do 4 points of damage. Our Slink does start with a total of 5 health, bringing this poor Slink down to 1 damage. That's right. This poor Slink, like I said, is not going to be long for this world, because since we did tie, that means our rogue gets to go next with all of these cards. Now we're going to discard these into the discard pile, and the first thing we're going to do is parkour. We're going to leap 4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 just to right there, and that's going to be enough for me to be able to do my attack -1. Now I do want to mention that these are destructible spaces, so another way to get to this enemy is I could have tried to break through these obstacles to get over here, but leaping over them is just so much easier and so much more fun. So we're going to roll now. This is at -1, so I did 3 minus 1 is going to be 2. I would then roll again for my second attack, which would have been another 2 points of damage. Now, of course, that's just from my die roll. The guard ability on the enemy is -1, so there's actually 3 damage each. So this poor person tried to shoot a flaming arrow at me and succeeded, but in doing so, it made me mad, and I have killed him. Now, of course, the one thing we forgot to do is I was supposed to take the 3 damage from the burning. So instead of having 14, I should be down to 3, 2, 1. What's here? 14, 1, 2, 3. Yep, down to 11 health. But that is still enough to destroy this enemy. Let's check out our book and see what happens next. The apparition flickers, then disappears from sight as if it had never existed. In its place lies a Nova Cell, a small glowing source of energy that is used both to power equipment and as currency on your home world. Behind where the creature had appeared, a portion of the wall melts away, revealing a brightly lit corridor. The original synthesized voice speaks again. You are not worthy for what comes. You hesitantly step into the corridor and the voice continues, but perhaps you will be. The wall reseals behind you, rows of rooms with differing purpose lines the corridor ahead of you. Viewports allow you to see out into infinite space around, and it becomes apparent that you are aboard a starship flying through the cosmos. Welcome to the Phantom Epoch. So I guess they were just testing us, I guess. We could learn about mission results and about the board of the Phantom Epoch in those rule books. For now, all you can do is equip and charge any attachments if you have received one, and spend your new skill point if you wish. Or you may save up your skill points for a more powerful action card. With the basic rules now learned, you may wish to read the clarifying examples in the sections of the rulebook. Either way, continue to mission Prelude 1 when you're ready. And of course, here are our rewards. We do get 1 skill point per character, and we do also get to unlock mission Brevrakov. Now, before we continue to the next mission, I do want to mention when an enemy is killed, you does drop these power cells that they were talking about, which would be able to fall into that space there. I should say Nova Cells, sorry, Nova Cells. And at that point, the play doesn't end when a mission is completed. You actually do get to complete all the rest of the turns that are on the board first. So since I did do that parkour and flurry, I would have still had my throwing knife left. And so I could have concluded by using that throwing knife if I wanted to. And since I would end my movement next to one of these power cells, I'm able to pick this up, Nova Cells. I'm going to call them power cells all the time. Nova Cells, which then we would have been able to collect. But that's just how a normal scenario ends. The tutorial, as you heard, it just stops as soon as you defeat that slink. So here we have our character cards, and this is the first one, our rogue, who has 1 available skill point now and was able to complete the tutorial mission, so we will cross that off. I don't again have a name yet. We'll need your help for that. I also haven't named the campaign yet, so I'll need your help for that. Then we go over to our warrior. Again, we have also completed this one, and we have 1 available skill point if we wish to use it. Now for the warrior, the skill card we would have the ability to get is Shake Off. I could ignore the effect of detrimental conditions that take place at the start of the warrior's turn, then remove all detrimental conditions from self. It can be used even while knocked down or stunned. Does not negate the effect of conditions that take place outside of warrior's turn, such as frozen. And we'll see some of those probably at some point. That's the one I could buy for my warrior if I wish to. The one for my rogue, if I wish to buy it, would be this one, Grudge. Gain Vengeful. Vengeful is a positive condition that allows you to allows a character to do a melee attack in retaliation. So after a melee attack completes against the figure and does not result in it being unable to perform an attack, the figure performs a -1 attack in retaliation, then removes the condition. If another effect defeats the attacker before the attack -1 is performed, do not remove this condition. So I do have the option of buying Grudge if I wish to. I think we're going to save them for now. The other thing we have to do is update our campaign here. I haven't put our characters' names in yet because we don't have our characters' names or the campaign name. But I am going to check off this Brevika one. Or Brevkov, sorry, horribleness. Here, I'm going to check that off because it is now available. From what I understand, that's going to jump us right into the next mission called The Way Revealed with, again, a 1-star difficulty. Here's the introduction. How did you get here? Was this an ancient vessel of the vanished? Where are they now? Not knowing the name of whoever or whatever has been speaking to you, you simply refer to it as the voice. Whether unable or unwilling to answer your questions, the voice stays silent. The next few hours are spent exploring the Phantom Epoch's facilities. Legend speaks of such craft as this, capable of flying through the stars, but no one living has ever seen one. The craftsmanship of the vessel is reminiscent of the treasures left behind on your homeworld by the vanished. Irreplicable technology over which many blood wars have been waged. Several of the rooms are destroyed, their original contents and purpose unrecognizable. As you enter a room with a glowing orb, much like the one you had activated, the voice finally speaks. They succeeded, and yet they failed. You must rebuild. They hid the way. You will reveal it. Infuriatingly cryptic as usual. The orb springs to life of its own accord, and a translucent image of the red planet that you had seen from the room you woke up in appears. The name of the planet, Burkov, floats above it. The image expands rapidly until a small area near an active volcano becomes visible. A precarious path above molten lava ends in a cave marked with an X. An image of a Grolak wielding a bow appears. The Grolaks of Burkov know not what it is, but they guard it jealously. You must recover it. Objections that you do not know what it is either are cut off as the room fades around you. Moments later, you find yourself on the path you saw in the image, the intense heat of the molten lava below nearly overwhelming you. Here's our objective. We must retrieve the treasure, W3. You have been sent to Burkov, the volcanic homeworld of the Grolak, and must recover the treasure marked by the X on the holographic map. It is fiercely defended, and you will have to fight your way through. After recovering the treasure, you will need to return the entry point to be transported back to the Phantom Epoch with it. We're going to be fighting Grolak archers and Grolak sentries. Now at this point, we're going to start populating our board. We do have our Grolak sentry. He is right here. We're going to place him down on the 2 to 4. Now we're not going to put one on the 4+ because we're only playing with 2 characters, and we're not going to place it on the 3-4 either. So the Grolak sentry will be placed right there, and our archer is going to be placed right in the spot next to it, right here. Now these are going to be destructible objects. If we can destroy those. Now of course this right here is what's considered a hazard. The hazard that you see there is the fire hazard. The figure when moved in will take 3 damage upon entering and get inflicted with burning, which we learned about in the last mission. We also have an orb up here at the top, so we're going to place that one just like this. If you notice, this one actually has a 0-1, so there is a dialogue in a book that we may read in order to get to it. But of course, in order to get to this, we have to destroy this object, because in order to activate this, you have to be adjacent to it, unless of course there's something in the mission or you have some type of card that's going to change that rule. Now all the way over here is a treasure chest. We're going to place that down as well, and again surrounded by destructible objects. Next thing we need to do is get our enemy deck all set up. We do have our Grolak Sentry and our Archer. We have both of their classes here, Archer and Sentry, and then we have the species card as well. And when we activate them, we'll draw 1 species card for each of the different character enemies here, and we'll draw 1 for each class that we have. Now, if we had 4 Sentries, we still would only activate the 1 card for each of the Sentries. They're all going to activate based on the single card that we drew. But remember, each of the classes do have 4 different colors. So I have put some colors, the bases that will be notified by the color what they're going to do during the activation of the class. But during the species card is going to be the same card that all the sentries would perform. Looking at our characters, nothing has really changed about them. We decided not to spend any of our SP to buy new cards, so they are going to be the same as what they were in the original mission. The only difference is I did get a chance to paint up our miniatures. Here is our Grolak all set to go into this battle. If you're interested in seeing how we were able to paint up these miniatures, I do live painting streams every week, and so you can check them out. The link is, I'm going to maybe put a link to the description. We'll see if I can do that. Otherwise, if you look under our live tab, all the painting videos are there. You can check them out. I will say during this particular painting stream, I did have a camera snafu, so please bear in mind the first few minutes of the video were a little chaotic, but that's beyond the point. We did get them finally painted up. Here is the other one as well. I haven't had the base painted yet. I'm actually probably just going to paint it black because there's so many different things on the map. There's so many awesome looking things. I really kind of wish I could make an acrylic base on this where I could cut this miniature off and just put it on an an acrylic base so you could see the art underneath it, but I do need this to be able to show which direction I'm facing, or not direction I'm facing, what hit point value I have. But here is our other character as well. We did, like I said, get a chance to paint this guy up on the stream. So there we go. Our guys are set. Let's put them out there. The start of the mission states, a shout nearby draws your attention to a group of Grolluks, readying their weapons to attack. They clearly will not be giving up the treasure without a fight. So at this point, we're going to learn about hazards, which we already have done. I spoke a little bit about it. Not only that, I have read the thing about it. Mission setup. Unlike previous missions, all missions moving forward will use event cards to decide the events. And how those work is we're going to take the entire deck and find two different sets. We have the 1 to 5 and we have the 6+. So we're going to take the 6+, give those a good shuffle here so that they're all set, place them back down. Now what we're going to do is take the 1 to 5 cards, shuffle them up as well. Once we have them shuffled, we are going to draw out 5 of those and place those on top. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have 5. Those are going to be our mission cards. Now, of course, the 6+ mission cards are going to be more deadly and harder for us to deal with than the top 5. So the speed on which you complete missions is going to be will be important, because the less of the 6+ cards you draw, the better. Returning to our mission book, we talk about gaps. Line of sight may be drawn over the lava present on the map, but not through the closed door or the cave walls. So as you can see here, there are some black dotted lines on this map. Those are what they're referring to as gaps. You can see over them, but you can't move over them. Now, of course, you can leap over them if you can, but it did say that we're not able to go through the walls here of this until we can get through this door. The orb labeled 01 on the mission map is an optional campaign orb. Refer to the 01 entry in the extras book only if activated. So it does have a thing about the extras book here. It says highly recommended you activate this particular orb, even if you need to replay the mission later to do so. Some of the event cards are going to refer to activate the mission event. If it does, we would activate this particular event here where lava erupts all around. Every figure that ends the round adjacent to a fire hazard is inflicted with burning. Then we also might have the event deck tell us to add an event adversary, which would be a Groluk archer. It is time to jump into the mission because it says here, stop reading until the door is opened by moving onto it. At this point, we get to place our characters down here on the map. I'm going to put our warrior right here. And I'm going to put our rogue right here. I have a plan for both of these. Here's the full map in all its glory. I haven't had a chance to show this yet. Of course, we cannot be standing in any of this lava over here or over here. There is a giant pit here, and there's also a pit here and here, or gaps, I should say, that we cannot go across. We have 2 sets of hazardous terrain and 2 destructible objects there. This is the door that we have to try to get through, and as soon as we do, we get to read the next part of our mission. Now that we have everything on the board and ready to go, we're going to draw our event card for the first round. So we're going to flip this over, see what we have. It says here, quiet. Nothing happens. Well, that's pretty anticlimactic for an event deck. Thank you, event deck. It could have been at least something, so it would be super fun to show something. But no, we got tons more cards. We now get to choose some cards for our heroes. I think what we're going to do is we're going to have a big thing with our rogue here. I'm going to grab parkour for 3. I'm going to grab sprint for 2. That's a total of 5. Then I am going to grab flurry for 2, which is going to give us 2 attacks. And then we're also going to grab find vulnerability. So this is a total of 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I have an AP of 10, so that does mean that I'm able to have that many cards. Meanwhile, over here, I'm just going to grab vault for 3 and guard shield up for 3. Vault allows me to leap 4, must leap through spaces in a straight line, and then I'm going to do shield up, which is going to give me a guard of 3. With all those cards drawn and the numbers that are kind of high, there's a chance that these characters might go first. So the first thing we're going to have is we're going to draw his species card. He got defensive stride, guard 1, and then move 2. So we're going to put that there. The next one we're going to grab is this one, which is 3, cumbersome run. That's going to go there for that enemy. This one's then going to grab the sentry. Now this is the light blue one, so it's going to do just a 3 strike, which is going to be a total of 7. one. This one is yellow. It has ranged attack, range +2, full draw. So both of them have a initiative value of 7. That does mean our Grulloch goes first, so he is going to do the Vault 4, which allows him to jump 4 spaces. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there, and then he's going to shield up, which is going to give him a guard 3. We'll place that in the temporary slot of our character, and we'll discard that one because we have used it. So this will be active now until the beginning of his next turn. The first person to activate is our sentry, who has a guard 1 and also a move 2. But there's no way to really move him closer to his adversary, which is going to be this person right here. This is his target. So he's just going to stay there, but he does have an attack next. He's going to strike. Now again, he can't hit this, but he could hit the object. There is a flow chart that will help you determine how these enemies are going to activate. First, we're going to check for the adversary move and leap. If there's no primary target, it's going to stay in place. If the primary target is an object in range and line of sight, it's going to stay in place as well. The next thing to check is if the primary target is in an enemy range and in a space that the enemy can be attacked from and is as close as possible to the adversary's maximum range from the enemy. Then the other one is end as close as possible to a space that the primary target can be attacked from and is as close as possible to maximum range from the target. There are some extra tiebreakers and hazard instructions as well that you'd have to put into account when you decide how they're going to move and try to leap towards you. So since this Grulloch sentry has no way of getting to this character, he is just going to punch through that object there. One thing I did forget to do is roll the decision dice. We're going to place this off to the side, which is west and south. If there's ever something that we'd have to check to see if it's an equal distance or something, or a tie of some kind based on distance or areas, we're going to use that to help us. We're going to place down a marker on that to show that that has taken some damage. Now we'll move into the Grulloch Archer. The Grulloch Archer again is going to choose this as its primary target, and then if we go through the steps, there is a spot where this character can attack from and still try to be at its maximum range. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, because it does have a move 4 for its species card. It has Cumbersome Run, so it's going to move 4. Then it's going to make its attack with a range of 7. Our Grulloch Archer normally has a range value of 5, with 1, and its attack value is 1, and it's going to be able to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right to that, because I can draw a line from this corner to that corner without going through any obstructing terrain. So at this point, we're going to roll our die. I get to add 1 to this roll, and we got a total of 3. Lucky for me, I put up that guard 3 card, so I'm going to take no damage this turn. Oh my gosh, that was super good. Interestingly enough, my plan has changed now. I was going to go after the sentry, but this enemy has put himself in a advantageous position for myself. So I am going to spend my cards to be able to move and do some attacking here. And then after that, this guy's probably going to be super dead. So I'm going to use my leap 4 and my move 4 to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 to right here. That's all the moving I'm going to do. I was planning to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and then leap 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I was going to spend my flurry to move 1, 2, and then I was going to attack him with this Find Vulnerability card from the back of the enemy right there. But lucky for me, this guy has put himself in such a bad position that it's time to take him out. Now, the enemy does have -1 guard, so I'm going to use my -1 attack card twice on him, meaning that this is just going to be a straight roll for pure damage against this archer. The archer does have 7 hit points. We'll roll our dice, see how we do. We got a fumble. Oh no, fumble. Wow, that's like, the fumble die just loves me. Now, I could have chosen the blitz die if I wanted to, but I did not. So that fumble is absolutely terrible. That means now, because of the fumble, I'm not able to continue this attack, and I'm also not able to use this as an attack either, because once you fumble, you're not able to make any more attacks for the rest of the turn. So I have to decide if I want to even use this for a move, or if I just want to call myself done. Now, one thing I do want to mention, that when I did play my parkour and my sprint card, they both gave me 4 movement points, but I only used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Once I start making my attacks, though, the rest of my movement is forfeit, so I couldn't make my 2 attacks, move over there, and then spend the rest of these to move 2 more spaces like that. Nope, once you start the next card or the attack part of the card, you're forfeiting the rest of your movement. I am going to spend the rest of my movement to go there, I think. It would maybe protect me from this guy trying to attack me, maybe not, I don't know, maybe just staying there might be the best plan. Well, that made me so sad. We'll move into our second round. I'm going to start by rolling our decision die. We did get a north and then east, so if we have to make any adjustments on that is the number we have. Also, we have the light blue color as well. I'm going to draw our next event card. This one says, something's happening. We're going to activate the mission event. This is the one where lava erupts all around. Every figure that ends their round adjacent to a fire hazard is inflicted with burning. Funny enough, I think I'm going to be pretty safe from that myself. I don't know if there's a way we're going to be able to maneuver any of the enemies into a position where they're going to gain burning, but we'll see. At this point, we'll select our next action cards. I'm going to grab Serrated Edge and Fight Dirty, giving me an AP of 7 for our rogue. Interestingly, I want my warrior to go last. I have a plan. So we're going to grab Heavy Swing and Slash, giving us a total of 9, which is the maximum we can have for our AP. At this point, we're going to draw our adversary action cards. So the first one is going to be our species card. We have Cumbersome Run. And then for our archer, we have Lumbering Charge. The first one's going to be a move 4. This one's going to be a move 3 and attack 2. We have our sentry is going to activate its class card, Stoic Defense. So it has a total of 6. And then our archer is going to activate, the yellow one is a total of 7 for our archer. In a surprising turn of events, our Gallic is going to go first, our sentry, which has a total of 6 for its starting points, or action points. I have a 9 and a 7 on my characters, and this archer also has a 7. So the sentry is going to do something completely out of what I wanted it to do. Sometimes the enemies just don't like me. It says here it's going to do Stoic Defender. It's going to have a guard +1 to self, non-adjacent sentry allies, and adjacent objects. If able to, I'm supposed to make an attack at -2 on the primary target. The primary target would be right here. I can't make that attack. So if not, it's going to move 3 towards the closest ally. If no path to an ally exists, move normally. And again, I could be doing some of these activations wrong, and if I do, please let me know in the comment section below, and I will rectify that. I will put a note in the video, usually in a pinned comment, so people can read and understand the where I have made some mistakes. First off, this is the primary target. The first card I lied is Cumbersome, which is move 4, and that's just going to move towards the closest person. It can't make it. This thing is in the way. So instead, it's going to do the other one, which is Defend 1. So guard 1, so it now has a guard +1, which if you look at the sentry's card, this guy's horrible. He has a guard +2 already, so he's got a guard 3 already. So I don't think I'm ever going to do damage to him on this turn. This guy then is going to try to get closer to an ally, which is going to move 3 towards the closest ally. If no path to an ally exists, it's going to move normally. Now there is a path to the ally. It can't get to the ally, but there is a path. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3 from how I understand. That's the end of its turn. Now it is going to be our turn. And the reason why is because the heroes will always go first in a tie. So we're going to be able to use both of our cards. We have Serrated Edge and we have Fight Dirty. I am going to use my Fight Dirty card first on this enemy here. If I manage to roll a 4 on this, I think we'll be able to kill him and then we'll be able to flex bleeding on that one. We'll see how it goes here. We'll roll our first die. Now, of course, I could choose either one of these dice. I wonder if I should use this one. No, 3 fumbles. I already rolled enough fumbles with the blue die. I think I'm going to just go with the blue one. See how this goes here. We got a 3. Now that's going to do 3 damage. The archer does have a guard of -1, so that means it's going to do 4 damage to him. So we're going to tick this down 4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 down to 3. And at this point, I am going to just hit him, I guess, with the other card I was hoping to use on that. We're going to do the inflict bleeding one as well on this archer here. Let's see how that goes. Let's put it on the board here. I got a 2. +1 is 3. So this archer does have a total of 3 health left. The archer is going to be dead. We'll place down a Nova Cell onto the board where that enemy perished, and we'll be able to pick that up when we do some of our moving. All right, that is the end of our rogue. We're going to discard both of those cards. And of course, this person has been removed from the board. Now, sadly, we have a small issue here. This was supposed to destroy that. That was the plan. It did not do the plan. It failed in its mission to destroy this, which we really wanted to do. I wanted to break that object so I could go and attack him. And he was supposed to break the object and move down. He did not do that. He did nothing of the sort. So here I'm stuck with my most powerful attack cards and I can't hit anything with them. Now, before I do activate my character, I do have to discard any temporary abilities played on the previous turn. And we're going to play both of these cards. The first one is we're going to do an attack on this and destroy this. Now, I'm going to destroy it with this card. And the reason why is the AP value on this is 6. And we're going to need that 6 in just a second here. We're going to put a destroyed token down. And now we're going to move with this character. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to right here. I needed the extra movement to get closer to that guy. Now, the good news is I'm also not next to these, so I don't have to worry about taking any damage from that. But I was really, really hoping I could have gotten an attack on this sentry. But alas, that did not happen. Again, we are now done with our second turn. I'll roll our decision die to see what we get. We get a west and north. We'll place that off to the side. And we'll draw our next event card. And this event card is going to state, let's see here, quiet, nothing happened. So like I said, the first 5 cards are usually pretty nice. Now I'm just kind of putting these on the bottom of the deck just so, because I don't really have a discard area here. I just usually put cards on the bottom of the deck, but I put them face up so I know that when I get to them, then I've reached the end of that deck and I can then shuffle them up. Now, once the 1 through 5s are all done, you will not be going back to those. Once you get through all the 6s though, I believe you shuffle them back up and begin again. We now need to select cards for our heroes here. I am going to, or I could rest if I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to grab Into the Shadows and Backstab. It's going to give me a total AP value of 7 for our rogue. I'm hoping that we go faster than this guy. I'm going to grab a Guard 2 and Attack 2 card. That is going to be the only card that our warrior is going to grab. It has an AP value of 7. Our archer is dead and is not on the board anymore, so we're just going to grab one species card here. This one's going to have a 4 for a move 3, attack -2, lumbering charge. And then we've got another Stoic Defender. So it's going to have a 7. It's going to activate after us, because ties will always go towards the players, of course, unless something changes that. Now, from what I understand, their round effects are a little bit different from ours. Ours stay until it becomes our turn, right? These are going to activate it whenever they're drawn. So, for example, if I had drawn a different card that didn't have Stoic Defender on it, the Stoic Defender from the last time would be gone, even though it hadn't activated yet. I could be wrong about that, but I believe that's how that works. Our characters both have a 7, so I get to choose the order. I'm going to start with our rogue, and we're going to use Backstab. It gets +1 attack, but I get +3 instead if another ally is also adjacent to the target. I'm going to choose, this person is adjacent to the target, so I get +3 to this roll. And just for fun, I'm not going to use the blue die this time. We're going to use the blitz die and see if it actually helps us. Oh, we got a 3. 3 is pretty good, so I get a total of 6 damage against that target. Now we have to, of course, look at the guard value of the enemy. The guard value is 2 + 1 from the Stoic Defender. So I'm going to hit this enemy for 6 total damage, but I'm going to have to subtract 3, so I'm only going to do 3. We're going to tick this down 1, 2, 3 to 8, and then we're going to pop off this white to show that it no longer has a tens spot when it comes to the amount of health that it has left. The next person that's going to attack, of course, will be our warrior. Our warrior is going to use the Guard 2, giving myself at least a little bit of defense here, and an attack +2. Now he's going to use the blue die. We're going to use the blue die. Oh, we got the critical symbol, which is going to do 3 damage. Now that means a couple things here. This is super good. I first off get to deal 3 damage that pierces through all of the armor or the guard value of our enemy. So the first thing he's going to do is take 3 damage. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3 down to 5 damage. Sorry, you did not get to keep your guard to save your life. That's awesome. Now the other thing I did forget is, of course, I do have to complete this person's turn first. I did have that move to gain invisibility. I forgot to do that. So we are going to just move over here and grab this. The reason I could still move over here and grab it because you don't have to be on the space where it is, but I want to be because that way I'm not the primary target when this guy activates. This guy is going to activate west, which would be this way. So he is going to activate, and the primary target would have been the most west person. So I don't want to be that person. So I am going to grab this cell though, which is money and also used to help with any of our attachments or equipment and things of that nature that need cells. Now on top of that, I have options. Because I rolled a critical, I can choose a critical ability on either my character or my player card. One of them here means that I'm able to inflict stunned on that enemy if I wish to. And that states that the character with the stunned cannot take actions of any kind until resting or discarding a selected action card. Adversaries miss their next turn and then remove the condition. Adversary round. Effects become inactive when the adversaries are stunned. That's the one I'm going to choose. The other one I could choose if I wish to is I could gain barrier, which states the next time the figure would receive damage, remove the condition. And I would also gain vengeful. After a melee attack completes against the figure and does not result in it being unable to perform an attack, the figure performs an attack at -1 in retaliation, then removes this condition. If another effect defeats the attacker before the attack -1 is performed, do not remove the condition. I could give myself that, and this character is actually going to attack twice with the -2. So and I have a guard 2, so that means I would have a total of 4 defense, and there isn't anything higher than a 4 on here. So now that I think about it, maybe that's a better choice. I think so. Wow. I think that's actually really good. I'm going to grab Barrier and Vengeful. Now, I might not also be able to do much damage back, but who knows? One attack back might be really good. Now, of course, this enemy could roll a critical, and this could all be for naught, but I am going to gain both of these statuses, and I'll put those onto my board. So now the next time I take damage, I get to remove the condition instead. So if he does get, even if he gets a Pierce 3, or the critical, I'm able to remove this to save myself from at least one attack. That is going to be the end of our turn. And before we roll with the enemy, I do want to show you exactly what I was talking about. If I get a critical on the character board itself, it has this ability here. I have some black paint on my finger. Sorry about that. That was from painting up our characters the other night. There we go. So I do have my Gain Barrier and Vengeful. Now the enemy is going to activate. It's going to move 3 and attack 2. It does not need to move. It is adjacent to its primary target. So it's just going to attack at -2. And that is the lumbering charge that our species card is doing. So let's roll that up and see what we get. We get a 3. -2 is 1. Now, of course, I did fail to remember that the Grellic Sentry does have a 1 attack. So that's actually a 4. -2 is 2. And I do have a 2 guard. So I'm not going to take any damage from that one, which is lucky for me. I'm kind of almost made a lot of problems for myself. The next one is going to be its class card, which is going to, if able, attack -2 on the primary target. So there's actually only a -1 is the deal here. So this is where I was worried about it. I have a 4. -2 is 2, +1 is 3. I only have a guard of 2, so I'm going to take 1 damage. And at this point, I will be discarding my barrier token. After the first attack came in, I should have activated my Vengeful ability, which allows me to roll an attack at -1. I should have done this before the guy made his second attack. Let's roll our die and see what we get. Come on. Oh, we got a critical 3 again. That's so good. So we're going to take another 3 off this guy. Oh, wait, it's -3, but it is still a -1 attack. So I think it's only going to be 2. We're going to tick this guy down 1, 2, and go to 3. Now it would have made its second attack against me, which I was able to use my barrier on. Now there is some interesting interactions here. I do have to discard my Vengeful at the end. I had already a barrier activated when I would have made my Vengeful attack. Now you can only have one condition, and if you already have the condition, it just kind of refreshes. So I already had the barrier condition when I would have made my Vengeful attack, and the Vengeful attack condition was used to make the attack. So I'm actually going to gain back the Vengeful token, but I'm not going to gain a second barrier token. And then once the second attack goes through, I will lose that barrier token. I could have chose to stun the enemy, but the enemy was already activated, so I don't really think it's worth doing that. So the only token I do have now on my character is a Vengeful token. Now that everybody has gone, that is the end of the round. We're going to go into the next round and roll our die and see what we got. We got north, then west. And we are going to draw our next event card, which states quiet. Nothing happens. All right, fantastic. Big fan of quiet. Let's select our cards for our rogue. Now I am invisible, which I did not mention what it does. What invisible does is you're not able to be seen pretty much. It says here, a figure with this condition cannot be targeted by an action performed by any figure other than itself. Invisible figures may move through enemies and vice versa. Remove invisible at the end of the figure's next full turn or upon performing an attack action. And I do have 2 attack actions I am going to grab. I'm going to put my total to 8, and that's totally fine because I cannot be targeted. I'm going to be able to do 2 times damage if the attack is performed while invisible, and the other one is a ranged attack of 4, which I might use as a move action depending on what happens as the battle unfolds. Our Grillick is going to have a move 2, is also going to grab a guard 1 attack and attack +1 at range 2. That does bring our total to, I believe it's 8. Yes, we have 8 AP for our Grellick. I should actually say warrior because we have other Grellicks on the board. Our sentry better not do anything too tricky here. We're going to be really sad. All right, first thing we have is just a cumbersome run, which is going to be a move 4. Then we have this sentry is going to, let's see here, we have the light blue one, attack, inflict, knockdown. And the total value for that person is 7. And because that enemy has a 7, it's going to go first. Oh, so bad. This is so bad. It's going to make its primary attack against that target. The cumbersome run is not going to activate because it is already adjacent. It's going to attack and inflict knocked down. It does have an attack value of 1, so it's going to be 1 plus whatever this die roll is. Come on, fumble. No, 4. I got 4 damage against me, and I do have that guard still up. So I am going to take 2 damage. So I'm going to take my first set of damage. We're going to tick this guy down from 7 to 5, which is going to be actually 15, not 7 and 5. That would be really bad, be a very bad tank if you only came into battle with 7 hit points. I'm down to 15. I do not get to activate my Vengeful because instead I am going to take the knocked down status. So we're going to place this on our player board, but actually just to make sure that we see it all, I'm going to put that down right there. Knockdown is super bad for this character at this point. A figure who is knocked down cannot attack or take any non-move, non-leap actions of any kind until spending 1 movement point to remove the condition. And during the adversary's round, the effect becomes inactive while adversaries are knocked down. All right, so this person is knocked down. I don't have to actually knock the character down. This is there. But I can't perform the Vengeful because I am knocked down. I can't make any actions until I spend at least 1 movement point. And because of that, I think I will activate this person first because they both have the same value of 8. I'm going to spend my dash card, which would give me a move 2. I'm going to spend it to just allow me to get the move to stand up plus another move that I'm not going to use. I'm going to discard my temporary parry card, and we're going to perform our 2 attacks. We have an attack with a guard 1. We're going to do that first. I am just going to use this die. Come on, 4. Yes, I got a 4. That's awesome. All right, so I did 4 damage. Now he does have a guard of, oh no, he has a guard of 2. He has a guard of 2. I might have been doing that a little bit wrong. I apologize if I did that wrong a little bit earlier. So I'm only going to do 2 damage. I was really hoping he'd take him out. 1, 2. He now has 1 health left. Oh, that makes me so sad. So instead, I am now going to use my attack 1 with a range 2. We'll roll our die and see how it goes. I got 2 plus 1 is 3. That is enough to kill him because he has a guard of 2. So this person is going to go to 0, and we have destroyed the sentry. We're going to place a power cell on the board, and we're going to put a power cell. You would drop power cells equal to the star value of the enemy you're fighting, which is going to be 1. So I'm going to be putting down 1 power cell. On top of that, if you ever place an enemy due to an event or something, like our event adversary came onto the board, that would not drop a power cell. Only enemies from that are originally on the map, unless of course there's something that changes that due to a rule or something. I'm going to get rid of my knockdown status because I did that already. And then our character here will go, and I've got 2 attack cards. I'm just going to play both of my attack cards to destroy this object. We're going to destroy that object right there. That one is dead. That's fantastic. We are done with our turn. We managed to vanquish our enemies. We'll roll our dice. We got a west. Now, of course, this is not over yet. We still have to get through the door. We barely even we've destroyed 2 guys. It took us 5 turns to do that because this is our last level 5 event. All quiet and nothing happens. That's fantastic. We'll place that back with our event cards, but we're going to be going into the 6+ ones now. And this character is going to have to rest. It did lose its invisible status because I did make 2 attacks in the last turn there. Since our rogue has no action cards, our rogue is going to rest this turn. That means that my initiative will be considered 1. I will be able to return all of my discarded cards back to my hand. Though because I rested, of course, I can't play any cards, so we're just going to regain all of our cards. If we had any detrimental status effects that would happen, they don't happen when I'm resting. For example, if I had bleeding, which causes 2 damage, it would not activate on a rest turn. I can also equip or unequip any attachments or equipment, so I could change that out if I wanted to. I could still use my item cards while I'm resting if I wanted to, and I would also be able to interchange any of my power tokens if I wanted to as well, my Nova cells. I only have 2 cards left with my warrior as well. I think he is going to rest as well to get back all of his cards. That's going to be the plan. We're going to put them all right there. Actually, no, I think we'll rest next turn. I've got a plan. I do actually have 2 cards left. I've got 2 cards that do have a move on them that I can use for AP. We're going to use that one as a movement of 4, and then we're going to put it in the discard pile. I did 1 more card. Which one did I have? I had this one. All right, we're going to have that one as well that we still have access to. This one isn't something I'm going to be able to use, though, as a move 4, but I could use it as a move 2. But for now, we're just going to do move 4 for him. There are no enemies on the board, so I'm just going to move 1, 2, 3 right up there towards that door. And we're also going to discard our temporary ability. And then we have used our move 4 card. That is it. That is the end of our turn again. That's all we can do. We're going to roll some dice. Oh boy, okay, at least roll 1 die, I guess you could say. North and east. Now, we're going to have to take our first 6+ one. This could be bad. This could be really bad. Let's see what it says here. Dangerous place to rest. Any character that rests this round receives 2 damage after resting. Oh, barf, I was going to rest with my warrior. Well, I guess my warrior's not resting this turn. The only action card I'm going to give him is this Find Invulnerability, and I do have this card which has a 2 on it. I'm going to give that one to my warrior because I do not want him to rest this turn. We'll start with my warrior. He's going to go 1, 2 just because why not? That's all he's going to do. But this character, on the other hand, is going to move 1, 2 right there. And now he is adjacent to both of those things. And since he ended his movement, he's going to pick up the power cell, having 2 of those. Rogue is collecting the loot. What a surprise. And then we're going to activate our orb, which is going to allow us to read 0-1 in our book. The book it's referring to is the extras book, which is this one right here. It does say stop. It says, reference this booklet only when activating an orb with a numerical value or retrieving a treasure with a numerical value. The corresponding number inside will describe the outcome. Orb 01 states, time stops and the battle freezes around you as a familiar tingling sensation engulfs your body. This time your vision does not go dark, but you hear the same male voice from the first vision aboard the Phantom Epoch. Log 1. We begin experiments today. I fear we are making a mistake, but she is right. What choice do we have? Our secrets must be scattered as a fail-safe. The first key is encoded in this message and is now yours. Touch the orb in the time chamber to use it. The tingling sensation ends and the battle around you resumes. I have unlocked mission Burkov 5. So on our little tracker here, I have put down that we have unlocked mission 5 in Burkov. Now at this point I lied. When I said this guy's just going to go 1, 2, that's not what's going to happen. This guy does have a 2 move. He's going to move onto the door. It does state that we stop reading until the door is opened by moving onto it. That is the mission objective. Maybe I should read that. So I'm going to use my move 2 to move onto that door. There we go. Moving onto the door is going to continue our story. The door slides open and hissing growls echo against the cavern walls. Illuminated by the red glow of the lava is a pack of ferocious quadruped lizards. At the back of the cave, glowing softly, is a chest. You have found the treasure. Now you must survive. Now you must survive long enough to retrieve it. We have to retrieve the chest here, and we also have to place some Grylo trained beasts as follows. We have 2 to 4 players, so we're going to place 2 down, 1 at T2 and 1 at T4. If we had 3 to 4 or even 4, we would add even more adversaries. And at this point, we'll stop until the treasure has been retrieved. Looking at our board, we have to put them at T2 and T4. Here is the T4, so we're going to place one of them right here. And then we have the T2. No, it's not the Terminator. It's just one of these things. These Grylo trained beasts. We'll make them face the enemy this way. There we go. Just like that. All right, they're good to go. We placed them out there. I've also got our decks of them all set up over on the side. I am going to place this open door token here to just remind myself that it's open. There's only one door. I hopefully can't forget that it's open, but you never know. I am going to roll our die and go into our next turn. Now, I do want to mention that, of course, because these are placed during our turn, they do not get an activation unless, of course, there's something that tells us otherwise. We're going to roll our dice and move into the next round. We've got a north, then west as our decision die. We are going to draw our next event card and see what we have found. It says here, Old Wounds. Every character that has an empty bandage slot rolls the Blitz attack die. If a fumble is rolled, the character receives 1 bandage. Let's start with that. We're going to take our fumble die and roll this up. I'm going to go with our rogue first. Our rogue did not get it. Our rogue got a critical. That's awesome. The warrior did. So the warrior is going to gain a bandage token. We'll put that into his bandage slot. Remember, if for every bandage, every time you get healed, you gain a bandage token. If you cannot gain any more bandage tokens, you can no longer be healed. Let's continue with the card. It says at the end of the round, if any surviving character has at least 1 empty bandage slot, shuffle this and all other drawn round 6 event cards back into the event deck, okay? If the players are ever unable to draw an event card at the start of a round because the event deck is empty, the mission is immediately lost. Oh, barf. All right, so this looks like, here's your timing mechanic. So basically, we're going to check each, and when this is drawn, we're going to maybe get a bandage token. If we, at the end of the round, don't have any bandage token, if we have an empty one left, we're going to shuffle this in. If we don't shuffle this in, and then whatever cards you have left, I believe, are going to be what you have left for your timer. All right, we'll put that on top of our deck to remind ourselves of what is going on. And we're going to draw our next set of action cards for our hero. For the rogue, I think we're going to go all out. I am going to go with a sprint, which is going to give me a move 4, a parkour, which is going to give me a leap 4. We're going to do a double attack at -1, and then we're going to do another attack at -1, inflicting blind. So we got lots of attacks coming in and lots of moving. It's a lot of cards that I'm playing, and I'm also using all 10 of my action points. This is hopefully going to get me as close as I can to these enemies without any problem and be able to start attacking them, because wait to see what our Growlithe is going to do. Yep, you guessed it, he's going to rest. He's going to go to initiative 1 and gain back all his cards. Here's our new enemy. Let's check out what this enemy is going to do. We have Venomous Spit, which is a 4. It says attack -3, range 4, inflict weakness. Okay, that's something it can do. Then we have our class card, which is going to be Trained Beast, because this is a trained beast. We do have the blue one out there, the dark blue, so it's going to be attack at -2. with a total of 5 AP. Then we have Pack Training, attack adding +2 to the attack if the trained beast is adjacent to an ally. That's going at 9. The normal range of this is 1, but this is going to be attack at range 4. Its normal attack is 1, guard is 1, and it has 6 hit points. So this attack is not going to go off because it only is a range 1, but this one will because it's range 4. At AP 1, he is going to activate first. Now that he's done, the blue one is going to activate next with an AP value of 5. We'll start with the attack at -3, range 4, inflict weakness. We'll roll our die. We got a 3. -3 means that it did 0 damage. Now, in order for conditions to be applied to a character, the attack has to be successful. A successful attack is defined as an attack that does not miss, so this did not miss, and the attack value is greater than the target's guard value. And that even includes such as barrier being able to mitigate the damage. Then the attack is considered to have succeeded. Now my guard value is 0, so it did do more than my guard value even though the attack was at -3. So from what I understand, this would be considered a successful attack, and I will have to take a weakened token for my character. So we'll place that down on his board. Weakened is no fun. It is going to be -2 to all of my attacks coming into this next for this character. Now, I still do have my Vengeful, but remember that only after a melee attack completes against the figure, it does not result in being unable to perform an attack. Then I get to make an attack of -1. Now, I am not I'm not in melee range, so I don't have to worry about my Vengeful. The next thing is to have this character is going to attack at -2. Sadly, this character only has a range of 1, so it's not able to make the attack. So it is going to move closer to me. It's going to move right there. Then we have the next person that's going to attack me. It got a 4 -3. I mean, it is going to do 1 point of damage, bringing myself down to 14 health. It rolled a 4, really? That's really good. I do not gain a second weakened token. I still just refreshed now the one that I had. So if something would have gotten rid of it between those two attacks, this would have refreshed now and I would have had a new one. The next one is the pack training. So it's going to attack at +2 if there's an adjacent ally. There is not, because I'm not adjacent to anything, and it only has a range of 1, but it does have an AP value of 5, meaning I can spend that to move 5. 1, 2, 3. It's going to move to right there. The reason it's doing that, from what I understand, is it's going to try to get to the most north area of that character instead of down here. That is the end of both of our trained beasts. We're going to move into our rogue now. We'll see if this rogue can even get there. Okay, I've got a plan now. Here we go, our rogue. He's going to be awesome. He's going to first use a move 4. We're going to play a move 4. We're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. Then we're going to do a leap 4. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. Now we're going to play some attack cards. I'm going to do my double negative attack 1. We're going to play this one first. The first person we're going to attack this red enemy here. Roll our die. We got a 4, but -2, 1 from my -1 attack and 1 from his guard value, brings this down to a 4. At this point, we're going to attack again with our -1 attack. We got another 4, so it's going to go 3, 2 down to 2. I was thinking about blinding this one, but now I almost feel like I should probably kill that guy, but I do have to roll a 4 in order to do it. I got 1, 2, 3 different symbols that I could kill this guy with. 1, 2, 3. A 3 out of 8 chance. That's not very high. I think we're going to attack this one with our inflict blind status. Let's see how it goes here. Okay, good lucky I did that. So I did 2, but it's at -1 and as a guard of 1. Now that means I do no damage, but it does receive the blind status. So we're going to inflict blind on this character by placing this token right in there to remind myself that it is blinded. And that's the end of the rogue's turn, but he did some real good work. Way to go. I'm really, really proud of him. Now it is the end of the round, so I am going to take this card, shuffle it back in with all of my other 6 cards. We'll give them a big old truffle shuffle here so that we're ready for our next round, which is going to happen right now. We'll put those to the side. We'll take our decision die, roll it up. I've got an east and north. We'll place that off to the side so I don't forget. Then we'll draw our next event card. We have, what's this one? Mission event. All right, something is happening. The mission event is going to still have to do with that lava erupting over here, so it's not going to affect any of my characters at this time. We'll move into our picking cards. Our warrior is going to grab tackle and slash, giving a total of 5. I want this character to go rather fast. Meanwhile, the rogue, again, I do not care how fast this rogue goes. I am going to go with a total of 8 with sneak attack and into the shadows. Come on, trained beasts, go really, really slow. Let's see what we got here. Oh, a 3, a move 6, barreling run. Wow, that's something. Then we got this one. The blue one has pack tactics, but the red one is going to have nip, which is an attack at -2. So that one does have a 4 AP. Barf. And the other one is going to have an 8 AP. Now, unlucky for me, this is going to be able to go first. It's going to move 6. It does not need to move. It is adjacent to the enemy. It is then going to choose, or actually it has to choose its target. Its target is actually going to be the most east, since these are equal distance. So the most east character is our rogue. Our rogue has no defense up. I'm going to be attacked with -2. It's going to do a nip attack. Let's see how we go. We got a 3 minus 2 is 1. It's going to do 1 damage to my rogue because I have no defense for her, or him, I'm sorry. It's going to go to a 3 damage. or sorry, 13 health. I've got 13 health. That's what way better than 3 damage. That's the end of that enemy's turn. So now it's going to be our warrior's turn, which I was hoping would have gone first, because he's going to play slash, which is going to be an attack +1 against this enemy here. I've got, oh no, I got a fumble. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, his entire plan is ruined. There's nothing he's going to be able to do. Well, I can move 4, which is going to be, it must end in a space adjacent to a visible enemy. After the move roll action is done, roll the accuracy die. If I get a block or success, the person is knocked down. So I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4 over to right here, and that is going to knock this guy down. That's the plan. All right, we're going to roll up our accuracy die, which of course has a 1 in 6 chance of failing. So he is not only blinded, he is now knocked down. So we're going to put another token on him over on this side. He's a knockdown blind guy. That's too bad for him. That is the end of my tackle card. Now we can go to my rogue, who, of course, everything we have planned has totally failed. I was hopefully going to have this guy dead. This guy is going to be knocked down. He was going to move 2 spaces to right here and be invisible and hit him for double damage. But instead, I am still going to move 1, 2 up to here, hopefully getting a little bit farther away from this enemy who could still start and be attacking. I'm going to gain invisible, which now I'm going to use sneak attack to do ×2 damage if the attack is performed while invisible. And I am invisible. I'm not going to even give myself the token because I'm going to just be using it right here during this attack here. We got a total of 2, so that's 4. He's a guard value of 1, so he's going to take 3 damage. So we're going to tick this down 1, 2, 3. That was pretty poor. That was poor. All right, that is the end of our rogue. Our rogue has completed its turn and is running out of cards again. Now, because this enemy is knocked down, it's not going to do anything, but I'm going to remove the status effect from it so that it can activate again in the next turn. We'll roll up our decision die and go into our next round. This guy should be dead, and that guy should be close to dead. But nope, none of that happened. All right, rolled up. We got south and then east, so we'll put that off to the side. We'll draw our next event card and see what we have found. 2 quiet. If no enemies are present, every character rolls the blitz attack die. Place 1 event adversary in the closest empty space to each character that rolled a fumble. There are enemies on the board, so that is not going to happen. Lucky for me. That is the end of our event phase. We'll move into choosing our action cards. Now, sadly, he is still weakened, so I'm at -2, so we'll see if we can even do anything, which means I could probably use this parry card, which would give me an attack 2, guard 2, but that's not going to happen before those things attack me. So we just need to find a fast attack, so we need to just do shield up. Okay, we're going to do shield up for 3. And then I need to use that move 1. I've got a plan here. We're going to move 2. Here we go. Move dash to move 2. There we go. All right. He's going to go at 4, I think. That's really good. We're going to go at 4. Now, let's see if this guy's still got some attack cards left. I've got an attack 1, attack 1, attack... Well, we're going to use all these. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11. Can't use all these. Oh, barf. I'm going to use these 2. We're going to use these 2. These 2 attack cards are the ones we're going to use. The one at a range 4 and the one at +1 attack. I get +3 if another one's adjacent, but that's not going to happen. I should have left him where he is, but that's okay. We're gonna use those 2 cards for our rogue. For those of you keeping track at home, that's a 7 AP for our rogue. Okay, we got 2. Oh my gosh, these things go so fast. All right, let's see what else we got. Oh good, some of those are gonna make, I at least get a little bit of chance here. So I got 4 for my character. Move 4, and then a -2 attack and inflict knockdown. That's super bad. Super bad. Really? All right. And then the other one is going to have a move 4 and a leap 4 and attack at -2, a long pounce. Wow, that thing can really get moving. That is that's what they're going to do. So we have an 8 and a 7. Like I said, I do have a 4 with my my warrior here, so I'm just going to use the move 2 to move right there so that I can take some of this damage. I think that's going to be my best bet. That guy's terrible. That guy's super bad. And that's a good spot for me because, of course, the decision die is going to be south as to which one of these 2 targets the blue one is going to attack, because the blue one does have a 5 initiative. It is going to go next because my rogue has a 7. The 5 is going to put him at first is going to be move 4. There's no reason to move because he is adjacent to his target. Then he's going to attack at -2, so he's going to he gets -5 to this roll. So he is negative. He got a 3, which at -2 is going to be 1. I have guard 3, and normally I would be knocked down. But because I have guard 3, the definition of a successful attack is if the attack value is more than the guard value. And since my guard value is 3 and the attack was 3, that means that this is considered not a successful attack. I do not get knocked down. I get super happy by that. I still have my vengeful token from like long ago. We're going to use this and we're going to vengeful attack that guy at -1. So that does 1 damage minus the 1 from his guard. So I did no damage with my vengeful, and not to mention I'm at -2 because of my weakened state. He just kind of sits around here and soaks damage is really all he does now. That's the end of his turn, that creeping beast turn, or trained beast, I should say. It is time for my rogue to go. He is going to rock. First thing we're going to do is we are going to use my attack +1, and we're going to hit this guy with it. We're going to roll our die and see how we do. I'm rolling it up here. I gotta fumble. This rogue is the worst rogue ever. It's the worst rogue ever. Okay, he can't attack anymore. He has no more attack cards. So I do have this one, which is an attack of range 4. Well, I can't attack with it. So instead, I'm going to move 1, 2. I'm going to move, let's see here, 1, 2 to right there. So I'm not near any of this mess going on here. And eventually, I can break through that. That's going to be our plan. Oh my gosh, that was so bad. How many fumbles can he roll? There's only 1 on the die, by the way, just a heads up. There's only 1 fumble on this die. Maybe I should just start rolling this because the amount of fumbles I roll, it's not gonna, the probability is probably the same on this die as it is on this die for how many fumbles he's rolled. All right, we got a red guy. He's going to do a move 4 and a leap 4 and attack at -2. Again, he is already adjacent to his target. He's not going to move or leap or anything. He got 4 damage, but that's at -2, so it's a 2 damage attack, and I've got a guard of 3, so I'm going to take no damage from that. Oh my gosh, that's super funny. He fumbles again. Our turn has come to an end. We are going to roll our decision die. We got west and south. We'll place that off to the side. We'll draw our next event card and see what we have found. 2 quiet, same one as we got last time. If there's no enemies present, then we have to put down some adversary event enemies. All right, I'm running out of cards to use that give me guard. I'm going to just play a parry card, which is going to be 7, which is fantastic. He's going to be done with that. The only card I have left for my rogue is this one, Serrated Edge, which is an attack, inflict bleed. I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is I am going to rest with my rogue. These trained beasts are going to get some stuff. Let's see what they got. We've got another Swift Creep, move 4. I think we just had that one. Yes, we did. This one is going to inflict 2 and knockdown, and the other one's got Pack Leader, attack -1, and all adjacent trained beasts allies that have an enemy in range perform an attack at -2. Oh boy, that's bad. So they both have a 5 initiative here. So they're going to go before our warrior, which is okay because that means his guard 3 will still be up. So their primary target is going to, of course, be our warrior here. So I'm not too worried about this. I don't think, well, I say that and then watch what's going to happen. All right. So the first thing we have is we go down the row here. We've got our blue one that's going to activate first at a -1 attack. So right now its attack value is 0. It comes in with a 3. I only have a guard 3, so I'm okay. I don't take any damage. The next one is going to be Takedown, which is going to be a -2 and inflict knockdown. And lucky for us, there are no adjacent enemy beasts or trained beasts, so I'm not going to get the bonus from this. Let's roll this up and see how it goes. Another 3, but it's -2, so it's going to be a 1, and it's got an attack value of 1, so it's going to be a total of 2, but I've got a guard value of 3, and I'm not going to get knocked down because my guard value is better than the amount of die shown on the die, so it's not going to do it's not going to cause the status effect either. So lucky for me, my guard value does hold up. I don't have to worry about taking any damage. We are going to move into our warrior's turn. He is going to discard his temporary effect and put a new one up that gives him attack +2 and guard 2. Now, one thing I keep forgetting is the blind status effect on this guy. In order to attack, he should have had to roll the die, and he would have not been able to attack anyway, because when you have the blind status condition, before you make your attack, you have to roll the die, the accuracy die, and if you get the only way to then continue your attack is to use it as if you get a success. We are going to attack with the attack +2. Now, of course, I'm at -2 because of my weakened token. He's not powered up anymore. I am going to attack this one because it only has 2 health left. Hopefully we can take it out. Oh, we got the fumble again. My gosh, these guys are Fumble City. Okay. That totally misses, but I do get to put this in the temporary slot because it has my guard 2. That is going to conclude our turn. We're going to go into the next round, roll this up. I've got an east and a north, so we'll put that over to the side. We'll draw our next event card and see what it says. It says if no enemies are present, every character rolls the blitz die. There are enemies present, so I'm not going to roll the blitz die. I'll just put that back on the bottom of that deck, face up, so I know when I get to the end that that's the deal. Okay, that's going to be the end of that part. Let's pick our cards. Our rogue, as always, is going to go all out. We have a double attack we're going to use. That seems to be that's the one that it always causes him to fumble. We're going to take a move 4. We're going to take an attack at -1, and then a ranged attack at range 4. That's going to equal up a total of 10 AP for our character. I'm pretty excited about his guard 2 being up, so we're going to use this attack 3 card, which could hurt me in the next round, but we'll see. We'll draw our next set of cards for our enemy and see what we have. We have Venomous Tail. Move 2, create a poison hazard in an empty space adjacent to the closest space closest to the primary target. That's sweet. That's a 3. Then the blue one is going to leap 4 and attack at -2. The red one is going to attack at -2. And all of these are going to be going before, or no, I get to go before the blue one, so that'll help a little bit, but the red one gets to go first. So this one is going to create a poisonous token in an adjacent space closest to the primary target. The primary target is right here, and it's going to create it in the most east quadrant of it. Well, there are 2 because that is the deal, and I can't put it in this space because that's not empty. So it's going to go to north, so it's going to place it right there. I really like this die. It really adds a lot to it, and really gets rid of a lot of questions sometimes. Okay, and then it's going to make an attack. It's going to roll its dice. See what we got. I've got a guard 2, and it got a 3. +1 is 4, but it's -2 from its nip, so it actually only hits for 2. I do have a guard 2 up, so I don't take any damage, which is fantastic. Now I get to make a huge attack against it. I get +3 to my attack due to my heavy swing card. So we're going to swing at this guy. We're going to swing at the fences and try to take him out. I'm going to use my blue die again and see how it goes. I got 2, which gives me a total of 5. -2 is 3, and its guard value is 1, so it's going to take 2 points of damage. It only has 2 health left. We finally were able to kill this guy. Okay, so this guy is super dead. It's going to drop a power cell on the ground in this space adjacent to it, and that's the end of its turn. We're going to move into the blue one's turn now and see what it does. It's going to move 2, create a poisonous hazard in empty adjacent space closest to the primary target. Again, we are going to check out this die. It is east, so east is going to be over here, but the primary target is here, so it's actually going to place it down right there in between those 2 spaces, I believe is how it's going to go, because here's the thing. East would be here, but that's not the primary target. The primary target's here. The only space that it has available is right there. That's it. It's going to make an attack. It's going to do leap 4. It doesn't need to leap. It's just going to make an attack. It's got -2, -2, and then I've got my guard up. Everything's fantastic. Nothing take no damage. Okay, now let's move on to Klutzy Nutsy over here. All right, Captain Fumble is going to hopefully do something good here. We're going to see if he can hold up. I'm first going to do my double attack at -1 is the first card I am going to play, and I'm going to play it on that there. So we're going to roll this up, see if we get it. We got a 4 that does damage. We're going to do the next one, and of course I get Fumble City. So I was able to hit it once, and all the rest of my attacks are now null and void because I can't believe this die. So all of these that do attacks are done, and I can't move because I was planning to move to right there. So all of my cards are now completely done. We're going to discard them, and that bird. Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you're looking for a name for this guy, I think Klutzy Nutsy might be the best way to go. Missed, fumbled on the second attack. Oh my goodness. There is only 1 fumble on the die. There's only 1 fumble on the die. Okay, we're going to check out we're going to roll our die, get the next one. We've got west and north, and then we're going to draw our next event card, Emergency Evac. When the round ends, if any character is defeated and all mission objectives have not yet been completed, the mission is lost. When the round ends, if any character is defeated. Okay, so I don't think any of our characters are going to get defeated, which is half the battle, but I don't like that at all. I'm afraid to pick cards for this character. Let's see what we can find. I think we're just going to go for one attack at all. This guy seems to want to fumble all over the place. I can't believe that guy fumbles more than Brett Favre. All right, let's see here. This guy's going to do something as well. I might do an attack at range 2. That might be pretty good. I think we're going to do that. We're going to do attack at range 2. My heavy swing and this parry are discarded. I should have done that at the end of the turn. That's going to be a +1 attack at range 2. I think that'll be pretty good. Let's see what else we have here. We do have a leap and a guard, and all damage sustained does not do any damage, but I can't play any other cards that turn. I think we're going to start with that one. Do I want to do some moving? I think I want to do some moving as well. Do I have a move card in here? I've got this one. I can use that to move. Okay, so now I've got 7. Let's see what our Vile Beasts do. The only one left is the blue one. He's going to attack at -3 that inflicts weakened, and he's going to do a leap 2 and attack at -2. I don't think he's ever going to hit anything. So our initiative values is we have 7 here, and these two have 8. So we're going to go with our warrior first. He's got 2 attacks. Was going to use one for a run, but I don't think so. I'm going to use my attack +1 first. It's a ranged attack, but I'm just still going to shoot at this guy. Let's see how we do. We got 2 + 1 is 3, -2 is 1, and the guard is 1, so this does nothing. That's awesome. All right, next one is this. It's a guard +1 and an attack. I'm going to use the blitz die here, and I fumbled. That's okay. We'll put that over here in our temporary slot. Next, we're going to attack with our dude here. This will be great. He's going to move 1 square here, and he's going to go invisible. Now that he's invisible, he is going to make an attack, and he's going to get ×2 damage. Come on, we need a big number here. Oh, I only got a 2. So that's 4 damage coming in. He does have a guard value of 1, so he is going to take 3 damage, and he only had 3 health left, so we have finally vanquished this foe as well. We'll place another power cell right there. Now, one thing I did do wrong is the Nova Cells. I should be getting these Nova Cells. The deal with the Nova Cells is you get them at the end of when you end your turn next to them. So this one should have gone to our warrior, and this one should go to our rogue because we did end our turn next to these. So we do have a total of 3 that our rogue has, and our warrior has 1. Now, from what I understand, these are a communal resource, which means that they don't just go to the person. It's just kind of fun that I give them to each other, but I believe it's a communal resource. We're done. The enemies are defeated. We're going to roll our die. It's north and east, and then we're going to draw our 6 card. Please don't place any enemies. This one says mission event. Okay, the mission event is still the one where the fire takes place, and so we don't have anything going on with the fire. Picking the cards for our rogue, we're going to take this in Find Vulnerability and Serrated Edge. That is going to hopefully be able to get us to that treasure chest. He is going to rest, which is going to allow him to gain back all his cards and remove his condition token. That gets removed when every person makes a rest. We're going to make an attack against the wall. We got a critical Where Were You a while ago. So that's going to be our attack card. It's going to be used for that. It's going to destroy this. I'm going to spend 2 movement to move on to our destroyed token here. And that will end my turn adjacent to the treasure chest. So we're going to be able to pick up this treasure chest because I do have a 2 move with my vulnerable card. And now it states, the chest springs open, revealing a small cylinder of the same metallic material as the walls in the Phantom Epoch. But there's no time to inspect it now. Shouts from behind indicate the Galak reinforcements have arrived. New objective, escape through an entrance point or defeat all enemies. Here are some new rules. The mission is complete when the character who retrieved the treasure ends a round on one of the entrance point spaces, or when all adversaries are defeated. If the character who retrieved the treasure is defeated before reaching the entrance point, place the treasure token on the space where the character was defeated. Then another character may retrieve the treasure and escape through the entrance point. Note the mission event changed, but the event adversary did not. If mission events is drawn, always refer to the newest mission event. If any event referring to the event adversary is drawn, continue to use the most recent current adversary. At this point, we are going to place a Grolak Berserker as follows on E9. The tip here, the Grolak Berserker hit extremely hard. It may be best for the character carrying the treasure to avoid engaging with them entirely. Here's our new mission event. More Grolaks arrive, furious that you've taken their treasure and intent to get it back. Place Grolak Berserker as follows. Ooh, another one at E9, so it's going to keep coming in over and over again. He's going to go on E9 down at our start, and here he is, the Grolak Berserker. He is going to ruin my day, Berserker. Oh, I have too much fun. Here is the card for our Berserker. He has 9 hit points at -1 guard. He has 3 attack automatically in a range of 1. So yes, he does hit really hard because on top of that, whatever he draws is going to probably be added to it. Hopefully it's negatives, but I bet it's not. He also does not get to activate when he comes in, but he is going to start activating because we're going to roll our die and see what we get. We got the west and north thing there. We're going to draw our card and see what we get for our next event. It states here old wounds. Oh, this is the old wounds one. All right, so we're going to roll our blitz die, and for anybody who gets one is going to gain a bandage token. First, we're going to roll for our Varlan. He did not get anything, and then our Grellick. Let's roll it here. 4, nothing happened. I knocked over my Berserker. All right, he goes right there, and I think that's it. That actually didn't affect us at all. And since we will be ending the turn with at least 1 empty bandage slot, I'm going to shuffle this back into the deck along with everything else. He only has 2 cards left. He's going to use them both. This is probably a bad idea, but we are going to grab a guard 3 and then 2 sets of move cards here. Now this one, ended space adjacent to a visible. Oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. I can't end. I'm definitely not going to end next to somebody. So we're going to have to grab a different card that allows us to move. I think I'm actually grab this card. That's an attack card. No, whatever. We'll do that one. That'll be fine. We're going to do that. Put it like that. We got a lot of stuff here. This one is going to be a total of 7, 8, 9, 10. He only has 9, so that's illegal. I can't even do that. So instead, we'll grab our dash card, then this leap 4, and then this guard 3. That'll be our plan. Well, to see what our enemy is going to do, our enemy is going to draw 2 cards here. It's going to move 4, and then it's going to, I did give it the yellow die, so it is going to attack, but at -1, so that does help. So it's going to move 4 and then attack at -1 at 4 speed. Now our Berserker is going to move a total of 4 with its normal card, and then it does have a 1 AP on the attack action, and there's not anything saying that I can't use that as a move, so it does get a total of 5 movement. It's going to choose the path to get to the primary target, and it won't go through hazards unless that's the only option it has. So we're going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right to there. That's going to be the end of the Berserker's movement. Then we're going to move over to, I think it's going to be our winged creature here. He does have 7 total movement that he can use. Actually, I lied. It's 8. He can move a total of 8. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 for his leap 4. Then he's going to move 4. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 right over to there. That's going to be the our movement for our rogue. Our Grellick is going to move. I think we're going to change this up a little bit. We're going to leap 4 with this card first. 1, 2, 3, 4 to right there. Then I've got a move 2, which is going to get us, oh, not quite there. I'm going to do, oh no, do I do my shield up? And then, yeah, I think I still do this. 1, 2 to here. And then we're going to shield up. We're going to grab our guard 3 card. I think that's going to be our best bet. And we're going to discard those 2 cards. Sadly, I was hoping to get next to him, so next turn I could just pound on him, but that's okay. It is the end of our turn. So this one does say that if we have that, we're going to shuffle this back in. So we're going to take all of our cards, turn them, and we're going to shuffle this whole deck up again. Give it a good old truffle shuffle here. So it's all set to go. There we go. We'll put it off to the side, and that's going to be we'll go into our next turn here. We'll roll our die. It's going to be south, then east is the decision die. We'll draw our next card here. We have 2 quiet. If no enemies are present, there is an enemy present, so I don't have to worry about that. And we're going to draw our cards. Of course, by drawing our cards, I mean he is going to rest. So gain back all his cards. I'm really hoping he goes last because I want to use both of these to attack. I'm going to kind of go all out and hope that we're able to take him out. We'll draw his next cards and see what he gets. He's going to move 3 and attack at -2. Then, since he is the yellow ring, he is going to attack at -1. It's going to be a total AP of 5, so he is going to go before my warrior. The first thing we have is a move 4, or 3, sorry, he's going to move up 3 just like that he selected his primary target. Now we are going to attack at -2. We're going to roll a blue die and see what he got. He got a 3. Now he does have 3 attack here, so he has a total of 6. -2 is going to be 4 points of damage. I do have a guard 3, so I am going to take 1 point of damage, bringing my total down to 13, just like that. Next, he is going to attack at -1 against me. Let's see how that goes. It got a 2, plus its 3 is 5, -1 is 4. I've got a guard of 3, so again, I'm going to take 1 damage, going down to 12 health. That's the end for him, and hopefully it is the end. We're going to start with our heavy swing, which is an attack plus 3. We're going to roll a blue die on this one, and we only got 2, so it's a total of 5 damage. It does have a guard value of -1, so that's going to be a total of 6 damage I did to it, bringing it down to 3 health. We'll twist it down. There you go. 3 health. 6 minus 5. Well, 9 minus 6 is 3. Then we have our slash card. Our slash is an attack +1. Let's see how this goes. I got a 4. That's fantastic. Oh, we did 5 points of damage. Minus 1, 6. Oh, he's so dead. He got super dead. He's going to drop another Nova Cell on the ground. I'm going to pick up that Nova Cell because it's the end of my turn. And that is going to be the end of the mission because I was able to destroy all of the enemies and there's none left on the board. The world shimmers around you, then fades away as you are returned to the Phantom Epoch. With the mysterious cylinder in your hand, it vibrates, then flies out of your grip toward the orb in the briefing room. A small opening appears on the orb, and the cylinder disappears into it. A shimmering schematic materializes in the air before you. It is labeled Laboratory. We must rebuild the laboratory if we are to succeed, the voice says. Next to the blueprints, a list of supplies required for building and a map of where to find them. Congratulations, you have completed the mission. Now perform your first expedition by drawing Story Expedition 1 from the Story Expedition deck. Then follow the instructions on it. Here is Story Expedition 1. The symbol up here means that the group will decide on this. There are 4 different decks of story cards. There's one for each of the different planets and also one for the actual story expeditions. In theory, the way this normally works is you would, between missions, be able to draw a card from technically the planet that you are on, being able to increase the fame and potentially gain any items or maybe Nova Cells or things of that nature that could be part of that card, is usually what these things are for. It says here, along with the blueprints for the laboratory are directions to a treasure cache with all of the materials needed to reconstruct it. The map points to a very large asteroid orbiting Burkov. A short time later, the Phantom Epoch touches down precariously on the asteroid's surface. Your team disembarks wearing strange suits that the voice says will keep you safe outside of the ship. You soon find the cache, vanished technology, and a stash of Nova Cells. Suddenly, another starship roars overhead. The voice speaks inside your helmet. The Timeless have found us. My master did not give me the knowledge of where the Timeless came from, if they even knew, but they have weapons that cut through space, and we do not. We must leave. There's not enough time to take everything, so I have to choose. The group would choose to take as many Nova Cells as you can, or take as much vanished technology as you can. Well, I think we're here for the vanished technology, so I don't see why we don't take the vanished technology. We're going to take as much of that as we can. So we're going to go with letter B here. It states, you take all the vanished technology, but the Nova Cells are lost to the Timeless. I gain 4 vanished technologies. I unlock Burkov 2 and embark on it next. Use the vanished technology to rebuild the laboratory now. And this symbol here means we are going to discard this from the deck. We're not going to come back to this card. Some of the cards that you play or gain may have like a shuffle it back in symbol. This here is our Phantom Epoch that we can unlock different parts of the ship. Each one of them is going to have a different thing. It told us to unlock our laboratory, so we're going to unlock that. It does have a requirement. It costs 3 vanished technology and the laboratory schematics. We got the laboratory schematics, and then we also got 4 vanished technologies. But we still have 1 more because we had to spend 3 on that laboratory. So on our campaign record sheet, I am going to put that we have 1 vanished technology left. We have unlocked mission 2 and 7. Our laboratory states, open the sealed laboratory deck, take out all item cards labeled 01 and 02 to create the available items deck. Without looking at the front sides, return the remaining cards to the box. When you discover new formulas, add the corresponding item cards to the available items deck. Characters may spend the number of Nova Cells indicated at the bottom right of the item in available items deck to create the item. Only 1 item may be created per character after each mission. The items are specifically formulated for the character that created them, and thus may not be traded between characters. These items may only be used once, after which they are returned to the available items deck. Now I just wanted to show you some of the other rooms. We do have the workshop and the surgical room, all needing vanished technology and particular schematics or equipment. And the final one is the chamber, which needs the advanced simulation. Here's our laboratory deck. It was sealed, so I don't know what any of this is. This one just says stop. There's nothing on either side of this one, but we do get to take all the item cards labeled 1 and 2. There's 4 of each of them. That kind of makes sense. We'll put these aside. These are 3 through whatever. I don't even know. We're going to look at the 1s and 2s. They're the same. Oh, here we go. We got a healing potion. That's going to be huge. Heal cell 5 and recover 1 discarded action card to hand. Oh, that's pretty fun. I'm going to buy 2 of these healing potions for sure. It says here each. Now remember that we have to spend the number of cells in order to get these. On top of that, these items may only be used once and then they are returned to the available items deck. But remember, we have no healing for our characters, so I think doing 2 healing potions will be good. So both our characters are going to buy them for 1 Nova Cell each, leaving us with a total Nova Cell left of, we have a total of what, 4 of them left or 3 of them? So we have 3 left according to how I did everything. We're going to spend those 2 Nova Cells and gain those health potions. I'm then going to take these cards and I'm going to place them just on top of the deck so that I know that I do have these available to me in the future when I want to try to buy them. Now that we've done that, we'll continue on with what we have here. After performing the story expedition, you may also optionally perform a planetary expedition from the Brekov Expedition deck. To perform those, you can read the rules about that. I know how to do this. You may also choose to spend Nova Cells to purchase Tier 1 equipment from that particular planet. We can also then change items, dismantle attachments. We can shop and get equipment cards. We're also going to have a reward of 1 skill point, and we unlock Story Expedition card 1 and our laboratory, which we've already done. So the only thing left to do to gain for our rewards is we do get to each gain a skill point, which we now each have 2. But this is where I am going to leave you today in Phantom Epoch. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this rather lengthy playthrough. I wanted to make sure I got through the Prelude and this first mission because coming up soon, Hit and Miss are going to play this live for the next few weeks, and we might continue on even more as we develop through this story and see how much our characters can grow and how much we enjoy the game. Both Kyle and I are huge sci-fi fans, so we're hoping that this game is super good and we continue. So far from what I've played, I can't see why we wouldn't play this to the end because this game is so much fun. I really enjoyed it. I think my favorite thing is the fumble. That's great. We got Klutzy Nutsy here who has yet to, when attacking more than about 2 times, has fumbled all over the place. The thing we're going to start with when we start our live plays is we are going to have our expedition deck for that planet. We're going to choose one of those. We're also going to choose if we want to buy any equipment. And on top of that, we have to choose if we want to use our skill points for our cards. I will be taking one of these characters and Colin will be using the other one. So I'm super pumped to play this with him. I think this is going to be super, super fun. If you did enjoy the playthrough, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when more content for Phantom Epoch comes out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comment section below. I would love to hear from everyone. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out the link to our Patreon. It is found in the description of this video. Things that our Patreon supporters are able to do is watch Colin and my playthroughs usually about a day or 2 ahead of time without commercial interruptions. On top of that, we give them the option to help decide what we're going to play with in the game and how to develop our characters. These 2 species were chosen by our Patreon supporters, except that I am a complete failure and I misread the poll, and this is not actually the one they chose, but that's what we're playing with because it's all painted up. So I apologize for that. You know, but sometimes we're human and we make mistakes. So those are the 2 characters we're going to play with. This one I know was chosen, but it was actually the Grillic that was chosen, not that particular character. That is my fault, and I apologize for that. And like I said, if you are interested in joining, the link is in the description of the video. Those that have joined the Patreon are found here on the screen. Thank you so much for your patronage. It means the world to me. It helps Colin and I continue to do what we do and enjoy the games that we enjoy. And hopefully are able to get the games that you want us to play and enjoy. So there you have it. Thank you again so much for watching the playthrough of Phantom Epoch. And if you're excited to see what Colin and I have coming up, then I need you to meet me at the table.